And good evening, and welcome once again to Thunderdome, night number 2 of Federal Hockey League action between the Delaware Thunder and the Columbus River Dragons. I'm Gary Schofield alongside Josh Durr as we come to you live from the Center Ice Arena in Harrington on the Delaware State Fairgrounds. And Josh, of course, the Thunder looking to bounce back from last night's tough loss. 5-2 was the final, but honestly, if you look past a stretch of 1 minute and 42 seconds in the first period where the River Dragons put 3 in the net, game was very even from that point forward.
Yeah, it was absolutely back and forth, and, you know, the Thunder were on the penalty kill for the majority of that first period. So they had their work cut out from them right from the jump, but that second period they started to kind of come back and get it together a little bit, and then right into the third period where they really started to gel. They pressed forward. Emotions were starting to run high. I think there was some on-ice rivalries getting built up in the end, and hopefully we can see them continue that momentum into this game and play hard from the very start.
Well, you mentioned the on-ice rivalries. I think some of that will have to do, and we saw it last night, when the injury occurred to Jagger Williamson in the third period, where unfortunately he suffered a broken tibia, and he's going to be out for an extended length of time. I think some on the Columbus side will look at that play and think that Taylor Cutting could have played it differently and helped avoid that injury. I wonder if we're going to see a little bit of back and forth with Taylor early on.
Yeah, there was definitely some jawing back and forth last night that I'm sure we'll see the finale to tonight. But I think that injury, I think Cutting did what he could do. It ended up, I thought last night that it was Williamson's skate who got caught on the puck, but it was not. It was Cutting's skate that got caught on the puck, so it pulled him in a weird direction.
Okay.
They locked legs and they both went down. So we're fortunate that a broken tibia is a serious injury, but we're lucky it wasn't both of them.
Well, that's a good point as well, and just kind of an unfortunate series of events that occurred down in the right circle there last night. Columbus got scoring all across their front line, but 3 assists from the first start of the game last night, M.J. Graham, and then goals from Jay Krupp, Tim Santapalo, Chad Herron, Zach Pease, and then Brett Menton put the exclamation point on the game with his power play goal in the third period. For the Thunder, who kind of struggled to create offensive chances early in the game, Ryan Marker, Brandon Contrato, I think that duo is going to put up a lot of points for Delaware this year. Marker had the 2 goals. Contrato assisted on both last night. Then made it a 2-goal game as we headed into the third period.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll look for them to continue to create that fire and create that energy on the offensive end. Let's go through the starting lineups for you real quick. We'll start with your visiting Columbus River Dragons. Due to the injury to Williamson, they moved Jake Howie to the center ice position. He'll play on the front line with Zach Pease and C.J. Hayes at wing. On defense, they'll start with Ethan Bush-Anderson and Seth Gustin from Phoenix, Arizona. And a new face between the pipes tonight for Columbus. They'll go with Rylan Pashovitz.
That was a pretty strange move, I think. Yeah, I was definitely surprised by that. Rutledge had a great game last night for the River Dragons. He stopped a lot of rubber. So putting their backup goalie in net, didn't expect to see that. They must be feeling pretty confident.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he fares early on in this game, because as you mentioned, Rutledge stopped a lot of quality chances, especially in that third period. For your Delaware Thunder, your starters tonight on the front line at center, Ryan Marker out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. On the wing, Brandon Contrato, who came up with 2 helpers last night out of West Bloomfield, Michigan. On the other wing, it'll be Jack Toe, formerly of the Chinese national team, now a member of the Delaware Thunder. On the defense, of course, you've got Daniel DeCristofaro, number 92, and Charlie Penns from Dewey Beach, the local favorite. And back in net tonight, Aaron Taylor between the pipes. You look at goals against of 5. But, man, you talk about playing well, because Columbus came out fast and furious, and as you mentioned, spent a lot of time on the power play in the first period last night. Aaron Taylor, without him, that could have been a double-digit score with as well as he played.
You're absolutely right, and that's one thing that I continue to say. Even though we're in the second game, we had 1 exhibition game. If you look at those scores, they might look a little one-sided, which they are, but the quality of play has been there throughout the entire game both times.
And as you mentioned as well, I thought that the team played better as each period went on last night, and I imagine they'll look to build off of that in the first period tonight as we get you set for the national anthem, as we prepare for the opening face-off tonight's game between the River Dragons and the Delaware Thunder. And a rousing rendition of our Star-Spangled Banner. And as you can tell, you can see that there's some Baltimore fans in the house as well, really accentuating the O. Say does that Star-Spangled Banner. So good stuff here at the Center Ice Rink. Another healthy crowd on hand here at Thunderdome tonight. Fired up, hoping to see the Delaware Thunder pick up their first win of the season.
That's right, and as we mentioned the crowd, I'm seeing that pair of Viking horns walk right down in front of the bleachers. That's the same guy who had this entire south corner.
Okay.
Or north corner, pardon me, of the arena fired up last night. So let's see. Yeah, there he goes. He's banging on the glass.
We've got some more Viking horns as well right across our vantage point on the red line. And you want to talk about how, there are no hockey fans in Southern Delaware. The variety of jerseys in the stands tonight, from New Jersey Devils to Florida Panthers and everything in between. I'll tell you, the Southern Delaware folks love their hockey, and they are ready for face-off. We're underway, night number 2, as the Thunder control the draw. Ryan Marker will play it back to Charlie Pence. He'll kick it ahead to Marker, who plays it across the defensive zone to Chris DeFaro. Daniel escaped around behind the net. Charlie Pence plays along there. Jack Toe tries to get out of the zone. He finds Contrado. He'll get into the offensive zone and just punch it deep. It was off the skate of the referee. Clearing attempt is stolen by Contrado, but then his back pass is stolen by C.J. Hayes, and the River Dragons come back 2-on-2. Hayes, drop pass, kicked aside by Chris DeFaro. Now it's picked up by Howie, who gets caught up by Ryan Marker's stick. He's looking for a call, but there is none. Now they'll battle to a side in the corner. And now we get a whistle as a trip is going to be called. Ryan Marker will go to the box. That's why he was upset, because it was a delayed penalty call. So, much like last night, the River Dragons are going to go to the man advantage just 40 seconds into this contest. The power play is what did the Thunder in early in the game last night. We'll see if they can survive being down a man early here. Off the draw, Ozelich has trouble controlling, but then just backhands it deep. Alex Basie, he'll kick it along back towards the blue line. That's where Pastuka keeps it in. They kick it along, that's Herring. He's having trouble handling, and McIntosh is able to clear it all the way down and kill some valuable penalty time. 1:40 to go on the 2-minute minor to Marker. And Columbus will reset behind their own goal. Ozelich plays it ahead. Off a stick, and now scrambling back to get back on side. And Jake Krupp plays it back into his defensive end just to try to get things settled. MJ Graham, last night's first star with 3 assists in the game, will recover there. Down to a minute 18 to go on the man advantage. Now C.J. Hayes, he loses the handle, but Graham picks it up there. Back to Hayes. He'll get in across the line. Just duck around the defenseman Taylor Cutting, who plays him well, forces him back to the sidewall, and now back to the point. Down into the left circle. Hayes skates, goes across to Bush Anderson at the point. His shot well wide. Recovered there by Pease. He's bodied by Brendan Young. Puck goes back to the point. C.J. Hayes faked to wind up and then passed it back to Pease. Shot out in front, goes right through the crease. Nobody home on the other side, though. So it goes back behind the net. Now back out in front for another chance. Aaron Taylor slides across and stops Pease's backhander. And now Brendan Young brings it the other way through center ice, and he'll just dump it all the way down as we're down to 30 seconds remaining in the man advantage. Big hit there from Cutting, although Bush Anderson avoided most of that contact. But again, this has been a fantastic penalty kill for the Thunder.
They got a lot of practice with that penalty kill last night. They're putting it to good use here today. You see Cutting out there chopping it up with a couple of players already. I know that he was pretty heated last night, so I'm sure some of those emotions ran over into today.
Evans plays it along into the offensive zone. That's Pease. They'll look for one last setup before the penalty expires. Pease holds. Skates to the top of the circle, gets it to Evans back at the point. He'll throw a pass down low, and then Fallis was trying to find Howie in front. He's marked beautifully by Alex Basie, and the puck goes into the corner. Marker tries to dig it out. Pease in there as well. They continue to battle. Fallis and Basie one-on-one along the boards, just trying to get that puck moving, and Basie is getting the better of that battle, and Ryan Marker will come away with it. He'll come through the offensive zone. If they hurry, they had a 3-on-2, but Graham jumps off the bench to even things up, and the shot from McIntosh was a slow roller and an easy cover that time for Pashovitz, making his first save of the night. And as you mentioned in the open, Josh, I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more jawing back and forth already. Basie and Fallis going back and forth. You mentioned Cutting getting into it with Evans a little bit.
Yeah, Tundle and Krupp are having some words right now.
We did not see any fighting majors last night. I have a feeling that just might change this evening. 16:52 to go in the first period. We're scoreless. The Thunder have killed a power play already. And off the draw, the River Dragons control. Coming out of his own zone is Pastuca. He dumps it in ahead of Heron and go all the way into the corner. Cristofaro will play it back there, but right to Jay Krupp, a goal scorer from last night. He got stick checked by Anthony Miller. And then they'll cover right there by Aaron Taylor. Again, stop play, but again, a little extra activity in front of the net after the whistle.
Yeah, and you can see Tuttle skating off. He's not happy with whatever's going out there on the ice right now.
Well, you mentioned last night, he's not the guy that you would typically expect to be kind of a guy that's looking for that sort of aggressive contact, but he has certainly not been shy from speaking his mind on the ice the last 2 nights.
Yeah, and he lost a tooth up in Watertown in the exhibition game, and he's not afraid to put them in jeopardy again, it looks like.
Off the draw, Heron came away with it, but then his pass back to the point misses Pastuca, and the River Dragons have to retreat. Evans plays it back behind his own goal. Pastuca recovers there. Another good hit on the play. That was Vortinoff. Now he and Evans elbowing each other. Now Krupp throws Vortinoff's stick to the sideboards, and I think that will bring a penalty. Tundle not happy with that. Now McIntosh getting into it with Graham. A little face action. Tundle getting into it as well. Now Vortinoff will hug it off with Jay Krupp. And yeah, you can definitely tell the emotions are much higher tonight.
That's absolutely right. Like, we were talking about Patrick Tuttle not being the type of guy you would expect to see involved in some of these physical bouts. MJ Graham from the River Dragons, another guy. You look at him, he's kind of small, but he is packed with power, and he'll throw his weight around.
Now, Chad Heron's going to get the penalty there for throwing the stick. You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to take a stick out of an opposing player's hands and throw it away from him. So now
that was a blatant toss.
It certainly was. So the Thunder will look to take advantage now as they get on the power play. Oh, but now they're going to send off somebody from the Thunder as well.
Yeah, some sort of dispute here between Pens and the officials.
Well, because there's no 22 or 26 on the Thunder, so I'm not sure. They got the number wrong. It's Miller that needs to go to the box. So instead of a power play for the Thunder, it'll be coincidental minors here. And we'll play 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. Marker on the draw with C.J. Hayes. Wins it cleaned up Contrado. Pens from the point. His shot deflected by Menton, and it goes behind the glass and off the netting for a stop.
Yeah, and like we mentioned last night, Pens is one of these sort of offensive, defensive guys. He doesn't stay at home a lot. He likes to get up there and stay in the action. And then he's got that good, he can skate super fast backwards. So he jumps back when he needs to and likes to keep his stick involved.
Did get a helper on the second goal of the night last night to get on the scoreboard. Ryan Marker off the draw, skates through the slot, just out of his reach. Now he'll throw it back to the point for Pens. Hayes intercepts there for Columbus, and the River Dragons come the other way as Peace gets across the blue line. Drops it to Hayes. His shot blocked by Taylor Cutting, and then he hips Hayes down to the ice. Ryan Marker recovers the puck and comes around behind the net with speed. Through the neutral zone. Looks to stick around the defender, and he does. Into the slot. Hit shot. Score! Ryan Marker end-to-end and finishes by beating Pashlovitz right under the left arm for his third goal in 2 nights.
And there you have it. The Philly kid coming through again. Ryan Magic Marker earning that nickname. Absolutely.
A phenomenal rush. He went end-to-end, deep through 2 defenders, and just carried it through the right offensive circle, and a quick snapshot beat Pashlovitz, and you questioned whether it was the smart thing to do to go to the backup goalie here for night number 2. So far, it's an edge for Delaware. Off the draw, Brennan Young got a win initially, but then the puck kicked back into the Columbus zone. Pass into the neutral zone. That's Fallis. He'll play ahead to Bush Anderson. Bush Anderson throws one on net to Aaron Taylor. He scoops, but he'll just drop it and play it along there to Jack Toe. Back to the point blindly. Bush Anderson winds and fires, and a save by Aaron Taylor. The rebound knocked down by Kieran Devine, and he plays it into the netting along the far boards, and that'll bring a face-off.
Yeah, we've been seeing Kieran Devine stay involved a lot here as well. Coming from
and they're actually going to get Kieran Devine here for a delay of game. And that's going to put Columbus on the power play. Remember, we saw that a few times last night where they didn't call it a penalty. Sometimes you wonder why it is at sometimes and why it isn't at others. But either way, Kieran Devine off for a delay of game. And with 15:28 to go in the first period, Columbus will look for the equalizer. The glass is pretty low around most parts, which is why we didn't think they were calling those penalties last night.
Well, they changed it up here tonight. They've called this one. And
I think that's what Charlie Pence is asking the referee.
Yeah, he's, again, a little bit of a dispute with the officials here. I'd love to have a mic out on the ice. If we could do a mic'd up with these guys, that would be pretty cool.
The only thing I can figure is maybe by his estimation that he wasn't trying to play that off the glass, that he was intentionally shooting that into the netting, and that's why the penalty call comes.
It seems like a kind of a strange deliberation.
Yeah.
How do you know a player's intent?
It's such a subjective call. Right. It's a difficult one to make. But either way, the bottom line is the Thunder will be on the kill here, 4-on-3. They'll send Eric Masters out with Pens and DeCristofaro.
Pens and DeCristofaro were the defensive line that they worked with most in camp the other week. So they've got some familiarity out there on the ice.
Seem to be the top defensive pairing, and a clean face-off win for Masters, and DeCristofaro gets to clear all the way down. And Columbus will regroup. John Evans behind the net with 15:15 to go. He'll get it ahead to Peace. Peace coming through neutral zone with speed. Skating along the far boards. Now he stops, turns. Trying to find someone through the slot. Instead goes back to the point to Hayes. Hayes over to Pastuca. He walks in, fires, and he goes off the left arm of Aaron Taylor and along the near boards. And Eric Masters is able to get it cleared down all the way to Pashovitz. 35 seconds to go before we get a 5-on-4 advantage for the River Dragons. Pastuca again through to the neutral zone. Plays it off to C.J. Hayes. Quick shot covered up by Aaron Taylor. And he'll stop play there. 14:43, and you mentioned during warm-ups how sharp Aaron Taylor looked, and he's been solid thus far.
Yeah, his movements have been super quick. He's got a really fast glove that he likes to put to use, and a lot of confidence, I think, going into tonight's game, because he knows he's been playing pretty well. So if he stays in that groove, be able to muscle it through and kind of carry the defense a little bit when they need it.
We mentioned this last night a few times. You know, one of the best ways to kill penalties is to have a stellar goaltender, and that's what Aaron Taylor's done thus far. Late change here for the River Dragons. As they're waiting to get a couple more guys on the ice, they'll go with Graham, Herron, Pastuca, and Evans. Off the draw, it was a win initially for Columbus, but a nice play by Taylor cutting. He's able to clear the zone all the way down. The penalty kill has been really good so far for the Thunder. 15 seconds to go in the coincidental minors, and then we'll go on 5-on-4 advantage for Columbus. Herron dumps it all the way behind the net. Marked there, but it's Graham by Charlie Pence. Then losing his edge was Herron, and now here come the Thunder. Quick 2-on-1. Alex Basie and Alex McIntosh. McIntosh fires, and a handcuff save by Pashlovitz. He didn't look comfortable at all making that stop, but he's able to cover.
Yeah, he snatched it, but that was close. Another inch or so, and that one might have been past the goal line.
47 seconds to go on the penalty to Devine, but a face-off coming in the defensive zone for Columbus with 14:14 to play in the first period. Thunder lead 1-0. Ryan Marker, his third goal of the season, broke the ice tonight. He'll take the draw here on the penalty kill. Wins it to the sideboards. Ojulins plays it around behind. That's Menton who has it there for Columbus. He'll circle and play it across back to Ojulins. He'll backhand a pass ahead to Herron. Herron across the blue line, stops there and just throws it deep behind the net of Aaron Taylor. Big hit there from DeCristofaro on Krupp, and Marker comes away with it. He'll play around the boards, but Menton keeps there. Shoots one wide of Taylor, falling in front of the net is DeCristofaro. And then Ojulins was bearing down on McIntosh, but he's able to clear the zone. Marker was denied a chance by Menton, and now Columbus will take it back the other way. Drop pass for Jay Krupp. Krupp marked there, but the puck comes to Menton. Some fancy stick work there from Menton, and a pass out in front eludes Krupp and goes to the near boards. Time about to expire on the penalty as the River Dragons play it in deep. Good hit there by DeCristofaro on Herron, and he comes away with the puck. He'll play it to the far corner, and that's where Pens will come away with it, and the Thunder look to break out. Pens ahead for Brennan Young. Young tries to get through Menton. Good stick check there by the Columbus defenseman. But they play around, and now it's Masters. Masters loses to Bush Anderson. Menton plays it behind, but Brennan Young is there for the Thunder. He skates into the circle. Quick shot goes wide. Might have got a piece of Masters on the way by. Playing it back in deep is Taylor cutting. Marker will play it there. He'll just shuffle one back into the corner. Masters hit along the wall there by Fallis, but Brendan Young comes away with it. Can't kick it to his stick as they throw it to the far boards. Masters comes away with it again. Good cycle game going on here from the Thunder as they play back to the point. Basie's shot goes off Krupp and Bush Anderson to behind the net. And that's where they'll battle again, one-on-one. That's Marker and Bush Anderson. Brendan Young joins the fray along with Menton. Both River Dragons defensemen go down, and Marker comes away with the puck. He circles, shoots from the slot, he scores! Ryan Marker with a beautiful screen set up from Brendan Young, and the Thunder are up 2-0.
Look at that. Ryan Marker. 4 goals in 2 nights. That score sheet is going to be filled with his name.
He's got the first 4 goals in Delaware Thunder history, but give a ton of credit on that shift to Eric Masters and Brendan Young. They worked the cycle beautifully to give Marker a chance to get that shot on in front.
Absolutely. And if I understand it correctly, if you score the first goal for any professional team in any professional league, you have a spot in the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Interesting.
I'm sure it's not on the front wall when you walk in, but I was told that today by someone who played professionally, and I've taken him at his word.
I believe it, and that's certainly something that nobody will ever be able to take away from Ryan Marker. 12 minutes to go here in the first period, 2-0 deficit for Columbus, and they look to break into the offensive zone. Vortnoff loses control, and now Howie fires one through the slot. Nobody home, though, and now the Thunder come the other way. Tundle with a shot kicked aside by Pashkovitz into the corner. Gustin will play it there, gets it ahead to C.J. Hayes. He gets across the blue line, skates around to the left circle, trying to find Peace down low, but it was just behind him. And off the heel of his stick, Taylor cut him with a big hit there, but C.J. Hayes emerges with the puck. His shot from the top of the circle is kicked aside by Taylor, still loose at the side of the net. They battle. Finally, Aaron able to get the glove on it for the stop.
And I'm sure all the black jerseys on the ice right now are taking a sigh of relief. There were a couple good scoring chances for the River Dragons just now. Well, they were not able to capitalize.
That line with Pease and Hayes, and tonight Howie, last night Jagger Williamson, they really dominated play for the most part when those 3 were on the ice, along with this guy. Fallis, the Santa Paulo line with Philbin, they generated a ton of chances as well, right off the draw. Quick shot there from Philbin, easily gloved by Taylor, and we'll have to do it all again. But Chase Fallis, I don't know that he lost maybe one face-off last night. He was really good on the dot.
Yeah, he was tearing it up last night, that is for sure.
Nearly wins that one, too. John Evans does a nice job to keep it at the blue line. But now the Thunder come away. Brendan Young on a break. Into the left circle. He winds and fires, and it goes wide to Pashkovitz. Masters will throw it back in deep, but it eludes Young, and then he pays the price on a huge hip check by John Evans. Santa Paulo now will play it through center. Nice back play there by Philbin. He'll throw it into the slot, but nobody's there except for Alex Basie. Masters brings it the other way for the Thunder. He's across the blue line, and now he just dumps one behind the net, pays the price as Evans takes him to the ice, and now John Evans comes away for the River Dragons. 10:45 to play with the Thunder leading 2-0. MJ Graham, 3 assists on the night last night. He'll fire one through the slot, wide to Taylor. Quick side angle shot from Krupp is pushed aside by Taylor as well, but Columbus maintains control. Big shot from the point from Menton is stopped in front from Taylor as well, and the Thunder finally able to clear.
Yeah, saw McIntosh shuffle one down toward Connor Helly.
Connell Helly played really well on the physical end of things last night. We'll see if they can generate any offense from this line along with Anthony Miller and Vortnoff. Puck still loose in the neutral zone. Jay Krupp down, chips it ahead. Back behind the net, it's to Cristofaro. He'll play it ahead to looking for Miller, but it's MJ Graham who comes away with it. He throws it through the slot to Cristofaro waiting, and he calmly shuffles it out to center ice, where Connell Helly will throw one in front of the net, trying to get Vortnoff, but it's a little too fast to get him there. Played back to the point, cutting, tried to keep it in, but couldn't. Now Vortnoff will play it back, try to get it to the Cristofaro, but it'll go all the way on to Aaron Taylor, and he'll cover it up in the crease, and we'll get a stop and a face-off coming to the left circle in the Thunder zone as they lead 2-0 as we head into the media timeout.
Yeah, and one thing that's kind of carrying over into tonight as well is a little bit of frustration I'm feeling between the players and the officials on the ice. Some either questionable calls or, a little.
That was
little
definitely
bit
the sentiment that you felt when we left the booth last night, that there were just kind of some shrugged shoulders and some raised eyebrows as to some of the calls last night. And then obviously a little bit of confusion on the delay of game call there against Kieran Devine. It doesn't hurt the Thunder tonight. They are able to kill both the power plays that they faced thus far. And Ryan Marker's been able to cash in twice already here in the first period. And with 9:46 to play, the Thunder lead 2-0. You know, we were talking to Coach Charlie Penns before the game, and he said, we're starting to get our legs. And you can kind of see that here in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of getting your legs, I'm understanding that there may be a little technical issue on the stream right now, so hopefully we're going to get that resolved in the next couple of seconds. But it is also only our second game up here in the booth as well. It's not just the guys on the ice who are getting used to our setup here. It's us as well.
We are absolutely thrilled to be a part of it, though. Professional hockey has found a home here in the first state. Off the draw. Puck lost by Columbus. Jack Toe looks to play it along the near boards, gets it into the neutral zone, but it eludes Ryan Marker, and now Columbus comes back the other way. Battle for it along the blue line there. Nice play by Contrado on the back check. He'll play it across to Kieran Devine. He'll backhand it out to center, but too far for Jack Toe, and Bush Anderson plays it to C.J. Hayes. C.J. Hayes with the cross-ice pass. He finds Zach Pease. Pease throws one in front. It's deflected, though, and Jack Toe came away with it. His pass for Contrado intercepted by Hayes at center ice. Columbus reverses. They'll head back the other way. 9:10 to play. Big hit here along the near boards. Puck loose in front. And Kieran Devine just sweeps it away. And now here comes a chance for the Thunder. Contrado, he'll wind and fire off the blocker of Peshovitz. And now the Columbus River Dragons look to break back the other way. Across the blue line, C.J. Hayes with a quick shot, paddled aside by Taylor. Toe along the near boards. Nice touch pass to Ryan Marker. And now Marker comes through with Contrado 2-on-2. They'll crisscross. Marker with a shot. And this time Peshovitz up to the task. And he'll scoop and hold that one with 8:44 to go.
Absolutely. It's starting to look like the River Dragons might be missing Williamson and Rutledge out here on the ice tonight.
Well, you mentioned Jagger Williamson. If you weren't here for our pregame show or you missed the game last night, Jagger Williamson, of course, suffered a leg injury, which is keeping him off the ice tonight. He was fantastic. He at the center of the top line for Columbus, along with Fallis and his ability on the dot for Columbus. I think you're right. I think they are feeling the effects of Williamson being out of the lineup tonight. Loose puck as they battle for it in the Columbus zone, but another turnover by the River Dragons. Tundle takes it the other way, skates through Santopolo, and then fires one that goes over the shoulder of Peshovitz. Back to the point. Vortinoff sends one towards the net. Tundle couldn't get a stick on it there. He's walled off by Ozelinch as the puck still sits behind the net, then kicks off his skate and came right in front of Peshovitz before Columbus could clear. Back the other way, Basie recovers for the Delaware defense, and he'll calmly fire it out of the Delaware zone back to center, and it goes all the way down, and we're going to get an icing. So the faceoff's going to come back in front of Aaron Taylor with 8:05 to go. And I get
a little bit of a
Ozelinch and
scrum
Basie.
happening in front of the home bench over here.
Basie, Ozelinch. You mentioned Graham as well earlier. We got our first Zach Ziering sighting tonight. Or Ziegler. Ziering.
Yep.
I
He
had
was
a
a
90210
stretch last
moment
night,
there.
but he's not afraid to jump in both feet first here tonight. Was kind of skated over to MJ Graham, put his hand on his shoulder, and just said, "You really want to do this, man?"
Nobody's really wanted to do it yet, which
Last night, I think Cutting was ready to go.
I think he wanted to, and that's why he got the misconduct to get sent off.
And that was one thing I sensed a little bit of frustration last night with the officiating was the guys kind of wanted to drop their gloves at the end of the game, and they weren't able to.
Yeah, they were having none of that. Jay Krupp with a quick shot, and that's, again, right into the chest of Aaron Taylor, who's been perfect tonight. He's looked really good and comfortable in between the pipes. And, again, he did give up 5 goals last night, but that's not really a good barometer of how well he played.
That's absolutely right. When you look at the shots on goal versus, you look at that percentage, and he's really holding up his end of the bargain, so to speak.
Graham and McIntosh on the draw, and Alex McIntosh wins this one for Delaware. Pens plays it along the far wall, tried to find Brendan Young. A little too far for him, and Seth Gustin plays it, but then another turnover. Brendan Young with a quick shot, and he scores! Brendan Young from the left circle makes it 3-0 Delaware. Quick turnover along the far wall, and honestly, I didn't catch who made that quick pass right through the offensive zone, but he found Brennan Young in the circle, who just hesitated and took a quick snapshot. That's his first career goal, and they're putting that puck on ice for him.
Yeah, that's this momentum. I said it last night. If they can keep that momentum rolling into this weekend, next weekend, and the games that follow, we're going to have one great team on our hands, the way these guys are really starting to gel together.
The draw after the goal, Pashtuka carries it in for Columbus as they're looking to put one on the board. Big hit from DeCristofaro along the far wall on Pastuca, but the puck's loose behind the net.
You know, I said it last night. DeCristofaro came into this league not being sure where he was gonna fall in the continuum of physicality, and he's really showing out the past 2 nights.
And a quick odd man rush for the Thunder developed. The Ryan Marker's shot was high and wide. And now here come the River Dragons. End-to-end action here. C.J. Hayes tried to find Jake Howie, but it was in his skates. Ryan Marker looks to settle it down now for the Thunder. He'll play it to Taylor Cutting, who throws it to Contrado at center ice. He'll play it back to Marker, who again will try to reset things for the Thunder. Kieran Devine through the neutral zone hits Jack Toe, who gets buried by Evans at the blue line. And now Columbus will bring it back the other way. Santapalo on the streak, but a nice back check by Taylor Cutting keeps him from even getting a shot on goal. Puck loose again through the neutral zone, and they'll play it all the way down into the Columbus end, and that's where Menton will recover for the River Dragons, and he'll carry it out. Line change for the Thunder as Menton dumps it deep. Philbin chases, and he'll beat Basie to it, and he'll play it around to Santapalo on the near boards. He'll throw it behind the net. Philbin fires one out in front, but Basie intercepts that pass, and now they'll clear the zone as Vortinoff plays it along the far wall. Still loose in the neutral zone, and Columbus regains possession. Philbin now through the slot. Backhand shot from the circle. Taylor just let it fall in front. A clearing attempt is knocked down. Bush Anderson with a shot that goes wide off the stick of Graham. Graham now tried to get it behind the net, but he lost his footing, and the puck goes by, and DeCristofaro will carry it out for the Thunder. Tundle now into the offensive zone. He'll stick handle. Plays it behind the net. DeCristofaro pinching deep. Can't get a stick on it. Now the clearing attempt there by Philbin, who again takes another hit from DeCristofaro, who's bringing the wood tonight for the Thunder.
And we see they're developing plays. And this is that line. This is the Tundle-Vortinoff-Young line.
Alex McIntosh intercepts a pass at center ice. Brennan Young now can't handle that chip pass from McIntosh, but regains control, being pestered by Heron. McIntosh with it now. He'll turn and throw it into the corner. Now it's Eric Masters. Again, trying to get the cycle on. They'll play it all the way around. Taylor Cutting will pinch in. He tried to fire one on net. Jake Howie blocks the shot and tries to come out with speed, but just couldn't get a handle on it. And McIntosh had time to get back and kick it back to the defensive zone to Charlie Penns. But now his clearing attempt is intercepted by Heron. Back pass for Krupp into the slot for Howie, but he can't get a shot off because of the pestering of Eric Masters. Masters tries to get a hit on Evans. Krupp again from the circle. His shot is blocked and deflected into the net by Brennan Young. And with 4:49 to go, we remain a 3-0 game.
Yeah, and they rifled that puck out into the crowd. I saw one of our staff members actually picked it right up and passed it off to a kid that was standing there. So
well, that's the other thing. Not often you can go to a hockey game at professional arenas in this area and come away with a puck souvenir. That's highly likely here at Thunderdome.
That's absolutely right. That's gonna be one kid who's happy when he leaves through that front door here tonight.
Off the draw, they fight for it along the near boards. Floated out to center by the Thunder defense. Puck loose at center. Eludes toe, but C.J. Hayes will carry in for Columbus. He'll skate across the blue line. Stick handles through Contrado into the circle. Backhands a pass through the slot. Howie couldn't get a stick on it as it was just too high. Toe clears the zone. Contrado there first, but they're calling offside, saying his skate was across the blue line just ahead of that pass. 4:25 to go in the first period. We welcome you back into the booth. I'm Gary Schofield alongside Josh Durr. The Delaware Thunder looking for their first win in franchise history, off to a much better start tonight than last night. The score was reversed at this point in the game last evening with Columbus up 3-0. Delaware's turned the tables on them tonight. Off the draw, Alex Basie will play it through center ice. Contrado is going to try to dump it in there, but Menton knocks it down with his chest. But the Thunder stay at it. Marker tries to find Contrado in front. Contrado on a turnaround throws it into the corner blindly, well wide of the goal crease. And Santapalo will recover there for Columbus. Now he'll skate behind his net, trailed by Contrado. His pass along the far boards into the skates of Fallis, but he'll kick it ahead to Santapalo, who skates through the blue line, tried to get through two defensemen, he couldn't, but now a loose puck in front. Quick shot there by Fallis is kicked away by Aaron Taylor. And the Thunder avoid a disastrous goal there.
True, and we're seeing this playmaking line start to really form right before our eyes here in the Thunderdome. You've got Marker, Toe, Contrado.
They've certainly generated a ton of scoring chances in both last night and tonight. Big hit from Contrado, but now MJ Graham with speed goes right in front. And that shot's kicked aside by Taylor. They throw it back in front, and Heron kicks it behind the net. Now a clearing attempt from Taylor Cutting is kept in by Gustin. He gets around Connell Helly and gets it back into the corner to Krupp. Right into the slot. MJ Graham, his shot's knocked down in front. DeCristofaro tries to clear. Bush Anderson now winds and fires, and his shot is blocked along the far wall, and now it comes back out to center. Columbus will regroup. At the blue line, Heron chips it in. Anthony Miller recovers there for the Thunder D. He'll get out of the defensive zone and come through the center ice, across the red line and just dump it into the corner. Connell Helly will chase there. Chipped back by Heron, and now it's John Evans who tries to carry it out of the Columbus Jones. He's harassed by Anthony Miller and has to play it back into his own zone. Now it's center. Pastuca, cross ice for Pease. He's across the blue line. He'll snap a shot. It's blocked by McIntosh. But Howie regains control. Plays it back to John Evans. He walks in and fires one on Taylor, but he makes the glove save and covers up for another stop. 2:25 to go. And Josh, you were telling me in pregame, you look at John Evans, tall forward or tall defenseman for Columbus, but he's surprisingly offensive-minded.
That's right. He's very finesse-focused, we'll say, and not so quick to drop the gloves. His intimidating stature might lead you to think that he's one for the Donnybrook, but
saw that offense.
Not the case.
You saw that offensive mindset there as he just walked in down in between the circles and took a shot. But again, Aaron Taylor has been up to the task tonight, keeping every shot from the River Dragons out of his cage. McIntosh and Howie on the draw. Alex wins that one. Basie tries to backhand it out of the zone but can't. Now they'll throw it back deep into the corner. Charlie Penns will play there. He tries to play it along the glass. It goes over the glass and into the netting, but because it hit the glass first, no penalty there. At least that's my assumption.
And that's one of those things we're still trying to work out with these officials, figure out what constitutes a penalty when the puck hits that net and what doesn't.
2:15 to play in the first period. Draw one by the River Dragons, but C.J. Hayes can't control, and he loses it back out to center. That's where Columbus will try to regroup. Hayes passes ahead to Howie. Howie cross ice for Pease. Pease across the blue line. He loses control after he gets drilled by Charlie Penns. Brennan Young now takes the wood to Jake Howie, and Alex McIntosh comes into the offensive zone. He'll circle back. He drops one for Alex Basie. He'll just throw it behind the net. Brennan Young is there. Pastuca has him lined up. Throws back out into the slot, tries to find McIntosh. Basie with a shot. That's blockered aside by Pashovich, but Kieran Devine pitches in deep for the rebound. Throws it around for Basie. He'll chip it ahead, and Pastuca is there, but then he loses his edge, and now the pass is right onto the slot to Eric Masters. His shot goes wide, but he gets his own rebound. Masters tries to turn, takes a body from Howie. Now he gets thrown into the boards from John Evans. Now McIntosh joins the fray. 2-on-2, they battle along the near wall, trying to kick that puck loose with 1:15 to go. They're still working for it. Pease waiting for that puck to sneak out, and finally we get a stalemate and a whistle with 1:12 to go.
They were really digging at it. And you're starting to see how the boys are getting to know each other, and they're communicating not with words. There's just a couple quick looks and a few
Yep. Starting to learn each other's body
I guess
language.
we'll
Absolutely.
say.
And that just comes with time. We mentioned last night, you only had a 3-day training camp. You had one exhibition game, and then 4 nights of practice leading up to the opener last night. And now here we are on night 2, and what a difference a day makes. Minute to play here in the first period. Columbus trying to get out of their own zone, but again, an errant pass, and Kieran Devine is able to play it back through center, but a nice play by Fallis, but we get a whistle as we're going to get an offside call because Philbin, trying to body up with Devine, was stuck in the offensive zone as Fallis brought that puck in.
Yeah, well, Philbin came in full bore right for Devine. Devine kind of slipped the shoulder, and when he did that, Philbin overcompensated, I think, and got his jaw rocked on Kieran Devine's shoulder there.
He'll stay out here. Zach Fallis will take the draw. Vortnoff at center for Delaware on this faceoff. Fallis wins it clean back to the defense, but pass knocked down by Tundle. He's trying to get through 2 defensemen, but Menton recovered nicely and kicks that puck to the corner. But Tundle comes out of the fray with it. Again throws it in front, but Menton is able to bring it back for Columbus. Quick 3-on-2. But an errant pass for Philbin. His shot from the far wall. Stopped by Taylor. Taylor Cutting loses control. Menton now back in front. Santapalo, it's loose. And Philbin finds the back of the net to get Columbus on the board.
Well, they got one in. Thunder are still 2 up. 33 seconds to go, and I think they'll have a little pep talk
Well, those
in
are the
locker
kind
room.
of scores that will drive a coach crazy. You get in the final minute of play of a period. It's where you really want to buckle down. And it was really just kind of unfortunate and a bad bounce that all of a sudden that puck ended up loose right in the slot. And Philbin was right there, just Johnny on the spot. Jimmy Philbin of Chicago went top shelf. I don't think Taylor actually knew where the puck was at that point. 33 seconds left in the period. Graham and McIntosh will draw at center ice. McIntosh wins it back to Kieran Devine. He'll carry across the red line and fire it all the way in. It eludes Peshovitz, and Gustin will play it there for Columbus. He gets it out to center. It'll go all the way through. Taylor will just play it there and leave it for Devine with 18 seconds to go. Kieran Devine up along the far wall. Eric Masters backhands it ahead, but C.J. Hayes gets it there. 10 seconds to play in the period. Cross-ice pass to Bush Anderson. He tried to find M.J. Graham, and the pass was too hot to handle there. 3 seconds left, and Basie's offside. So we'll get one final face-off here before the end of the period, just outside the blue line. .8 seconds to play, 3-1 our score. Delaware on top of the Columbus River Dragons. Graham and McIntosh on the draw. They'll just play to a stalemate and let the last 2 seconds tick off the clock. So one period in the books, and again, what a difference a day makes. Last night at this time, it was 3-0 Columbus. Tonight, courtesy of a pair of goals from Ryan Marker and Brennan Young's first goal of his career, the Thunder have a 3-1 lead on the River Dragons.
Yeah, and that's going to feel nice for the boys to go back to the dressing room and, be on top for once and not trying to play catch-up.
Well, and it's interesting, too. We talked throughout the broadcast last night and in the pregame tonight that, and even Coach Penn's alluded to it as we were talking to him before the game about the boys getting their legs together, and you really saw it from the jump. They were the quicker team in that first period, the more physical team, and they created a number of quality chances. They beat Peshovitz 3 times, but he had to make at least half a dozen tough saves. This score could be much different than what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And we still see Penn's on the ice with the officials right now.
They're
Looks
unhappy with, I think, something that happened on the goal-scoring play away from the puck, where I think Charlie's trying to plead his case to say that there should have been a call to stop play there. But at the end of the day, the goal is scored by Philbin to get Columbus on the board.
Right.
But as you mentioned, a 2-goal lead at the end of the first period, that'll be a welcome sight for the boys in black and silver.
Absolutely right.
So we're going to step aside as we go through the first intermission. When we come back just before the start of the second period, we'll give you a goal recap. And as the boys switch ends, we'll get you ready for another period of exciting hockey. But, of course, before we do that, we do have to thank some of our great sponsors here of the Delaware Thunder, like Bay Health, Betsy Ross Pizza, Brimminghorn Meadery, Duck Creek Printing, Gatehouse Media, M&T Bank, Easy Loans Incorporated, The Barn, Harrington Insurance, Big Oyster Brewery, Coeur d'Alene Grill and Restaurant, 47 ABC, Delaware Prep Ice Hockey, Bridal Bit Liquors, Charlie's Painting, American Hockey Services, Forever Media, Applebee's Grill and Bar, Robert Webster Cosmetic and Family Dentistry, Delmarva Chiropractic and Wellness, First Aid Fabrication, Pizza King, Post-Acute Medical, Premier Orthopedic Bone and Joint Care, Holiday Inn Express, the Delaware State Lottery, and Planet Fitness. We'll be back with period number 2. Along with Josh Durr, I'm Gary Schofield. You're watching the Delaware Thunder, and we appreciate it. You can keep up with us all the time at DelawareThunder.com. Yes. And welcome back to the Thunderdome, better known as the Center Ice Arena at the Delaware State Fairgrounds in Harrington, as we get set for the second period tonight with the Delaware Thunder leading the Columbus River Dragons by a score of 3-1. Ryan Marker scored 2 goals last night, scored the first 2 goals of the game tonight, so he'll have his name in the Delaware Thunder record book, scoring the first 4 goals in team history. Brennan Young broke through with the 3rd goal of the night to get the Thunder out to a 3-0 lead. But then late in the first period with just 33 seconds left, Jimmy Philbin from Chi-Town found a loose puck in the slot and beat Aaron Taylor over the left shoulder to get the River Dragons on the board, 3-1.
That's absolutely right. And as we get set for the second period of action, see Ryan Marker out here. They're going with their, starting lineup. We got Pens and DiCristofaro back on defense. Again, those two worked really well in training camp together.
And now C.J. Hayes went to the referee and had a little message to send as well. Now he's kind of yucking it up with Contrado. Now we're getting some banging on the boards. I don't know if we're going to see as physical as the first period was. I kind of get the feeling, just by listening to the two benches, that we might be ready for an even more physical second period.
Yeah, and Metallica providing the soundtrack here in the arena for what is set to be a pretty chippy second period.
We're just waiting for Jake Howie to get into the face-off circle for Columbus. He'll go against Ryan Marker. Off the draw, stalemate at center, but then Howie comes away with it and fires it all the way down. Pens will play it there for Delaware. Now he'll chip it ahead to Contrado. He finds Ryan Marker. Marker's pass for toe bounces over his stick, and Gustin's able to steer it aside and get it across the blue line, so the Thunder have to clear out. Now Bush Anderson, he goes cross ice to Pease to Hayes. Hayes around the right circle. He'll stop and turn. Loses the puck, though, in the air. Pens throws it to the ice. Would have been a hand pass, so Gustin has to play it. Now Pease, he'll throw one in front looking for Howie and just missed him. And now a nice little touch pass by Ryan Marker to Contrado. Contrado back to Marker, 2-on-1. Score! Jack Toe on the one-timer from Ryan Marker, who's got a 3-point night.
The Thunder are going to start to feel very confident with that 3-goal lead.
Well, keep in mind, we talked about this line generating the most offense last night. That has continued tonight. What a beautiful touch play off the near board by Brandon Contrado to set Marker free and to set up the 2-on-1. And he timed that pass beautifully, and Jack Toe didn't miss on the one-timer. And it's 4-1 Thunder. McIntosh will take the draw with Fallis. Alex wins it back to Kieran Devine. He'll throw it ahead looking for Brennan Young, but it's under his stick. The River Dragons bring it back the other direction. Philbin with a drop pass. He was hoping for Fallis. Instead, goes all the way back to center. Santapalo fighting with McIntosh for it there. It's Fallis that comes away with it. Now John Evans playing it out of the Columbus zone. Along the near wall, they battle for it. Puck still loose. Now Masters plays it into the Columbus zone as they continue to battle in front of the Thunder bench. And it kicks back out to center ice where Alex Basie will play it there. He tried to get it into the zone. Instead, John Evans stands it up there. Nice poke check by Basie as Philbin gets control in the near corner. Now it's Santapalo. He'll bump it back to the point. John Evans with a quick shot. That's deflected by Philbin. Now thrown in front. McIntosh looks to clear it out. Gets it past Pashtuka. Now it's a foot race between Brennan Young and John Evans, but instead it's an icing as the puck crosses the goal line with Evans a step ahead of Young. Action fast and furious here in the opening moments of the second period. Jack Toe's first goal in the FHL and an assist from Ryan Marker has the Thunder out in front 4-1. 18:23 to go. Offensive zone draw for the River Dragons. It's Graham. He wins it to the near boards, and now he'll tip it back to Menton. Menton dumps it deep as Masters dumps Menton into the bench along the near boards. Puck loose in front. Basie knocking it down, and now he'll try to clear. Instead, a good keep there by Heron. Graham couldn't get control, though, and the puck's still behind the net. Heron will retrieve there. He'll play it back to the circle for Krupp. Krupp avoids a hit from Masters. Now he gets the puck in the circle. His shot's knocked down by Basie, and now Eric Masters comes the other way.
Go ahead. That was a nice little tap by Masters. He just put Krupp's stick right down when he wanted to take that shot, and it disrupted the play.
Masters' shot on the other end is high and avoids the glove of Pashowitz. It goes over the glass out of play. So we'll get another stop and another face-off. But man, the fans are having a good time tonight, not just enjoying the scoring, but the physicality as well. Been a ton of big hits, none bigger than the one you just saw Masters deliver on Pashtovic, putting him over the bench. Anthony Miller on the draw this time, again with Jake Howie. Howie wins it clean. C.J. Hayes collects along the near boards, but then he loses control, and the Thunder throw it back in deep. Tundle, he walls off Menton. Miller plays it back to Cutting. Puck loose in the slot. Tundle with a quick shot. And Pashowitz is up to the task that time, corralling that into his chest for another stop. No change for either team, as again it'll be Miller and Jake Howie on the draw. Miller wins the draw. Tundle back to the point. Cutting will wind it fire. It's blocked. Nice play there by Pease, but a good job by Cutting to wall him off, and now the puck still loose at center. Cutting with another hit, this time on Howie. Puck still loose at center ice. Tundle comes away with it. He'll kick it to his stick. He finds Anthony Miller. His shot from the slot, sticked aside by Pashowitz. Still loose in front, and finally covered up by Ronell Pashowitz, the goaltender for Columbus.
Yeah, when they were coming down the far wall, Tundle ducked to try to get out of the way of the puck, and it bounced off his shoulder and stayed right by his feet, and he was looking around saying, where'd it go?
Luckily found it, turned it into a scoring chance for Anthony Miller. The marker toe Contrato line back out. Fallis will take the draw for the River Dragons. Face-off one clean lead by Columbus, and they'll clear the zone. And now they look to break out with numbers. Coming down the far side, Philbin with a quick shot. Up to the task, and to the delight of this Thunder crowd. Save made by Aaron Taylor, and I feel like we've said that a ton of times tonight.
That's absolutely right, and I think I've heard it a ton of times. And that corner down there continues with the chanting and the general rabble-rousing, we'll call it.
I have a feeling that section of the stands is going to have a name at some point soon here at Thunderdome. Off the draw, Bush Anderson with a shot from the point, deflected by Philbin, and it was loose in the crease. Charlie Penns went to the ice and gave Taylor a chance to cover up. 16:57 left to play.
That was a little smart play by Charlie Penns there. Knowing where he's at, realizing the puck's right below me, what am I going to do? I'll sit on it.
Right.
He dropped right down and got in the way of that scoring opportunity for the River Dragons.
Fallis and Marker on the draw. And we get a little hesitation from the linesman. They'll reset and do it again. Fallis wins it back to Bush Anderson. He'll play it along the near wall to Santapalo. His pass for Philbin too far, and Jack Toe just plays it along the boards there. He takes a big hit from Zach Fallis. Charlie Penns didn't like that and let Fallis know as he went by. Thunder play it back down deep. Contrato, he'll throw it in front off the skate of Santapalo, and he's lucky that didn't go into his own net. Seth Gustin recovers behind the cage. And now he'll try to slow it down. Passes ahead for Bush Anderson. He'll go ahead and take the free pass out of the zone as Kieran Devine backpedals. And then Bush Anderson loses the puck. They go down together at the blue line. Now Heron carries in. Nice nifty play to get around Devine. Now he walks in front, and Taylor makes the shoulder save as it goes to the far wall. Kieran Devine chips it ahead, trying to get to Marker, who's at the end of his shift. And now Columbus will be able to clear their zone cleanly. Nice play by Graham, who plays ahead to Pashtuka with a quick shot. And Aaron Taylor sets that aside. Thrown back out in front by Graham. Pashtuka again with a shot, and Taylor makes the save.
That was some great defensive work there by Kieran Devine in the double nickel 55 jersey. He really was all over that play.
Speaking of double nickels, 15:55 to go in the second period. Thunder lead 4-1. Night number 2 of Federal Hockey League action live from the Thunderdome, the Center Ice Arena in Harrington. Alex McIntosh on the draw. He loses that one to Graham. They'll play it back to the point. John Evans with a shot off the blocker of Aaron Taylor and into the netting, and we'll have to do it again as 5 seconds go off the clock.
That's right, and they're going to hit the reset button here again. That net's getting about as much of a workout here tonight as the goalies are.
It's keeping the scoreboard protected and all the lights on there. It'll be Graham and McIntosh again on the draw. And again, Graham wins it. Back to the point, Evans. He'll take a quick snapshot, and it gets deflected into the corner. McIntosh fights with Krupp there, plays it along the wall, where Heron pitches in and keeps it alive for Columbus. Now he battles with Alex Basie. They'll go toe-to-toe. Basie not happy. He throws his shoulder into Heron. Now Graham along the wall with McIntosh. Basie and Heron continue to do a little stick play. Basie now giving a little whitewash. A little punch to the back of the head as they throw the puck through the slot. Luckily, no one home there, and it gets all the way back into the Columbus zone. Pastuca plays it there, eludes John Evans, and that gives Basie a chance to recover. Evans, though, picks up the errant puck in the neutral zone, and now he'll skate it in. His backhand pass goes off a teammate and back to center, where Pastuca will dump it in deep. The River Dragons will make a change, and now they clear the zone, so no more delayed offsides. And now McIntosh loses control. Zach Pease plays it to Jake Howie. Howie with a side angle shot stopped by Taylor, and McIntosh will recover there behind his own net. Now he'll throw it back behind. Basie collects for the Thunder as they'll try to regroup.
And that little look-back pass that he dropped back to Basie there is just another example of that communication these guys are working on as we dig into the first part of the season here.
Anthony Miller plays it back in deep. You know, we saw the turnovers really plagued the Thunder last night. They've done a much better job protecting the puck tonight.
Yeah.
C.J. Hayes with speed moves through the defensive zone but loses control. Now Vortinoff dangerously walks into the slot with it in front of his own goaltender, plays it to the sidewall where Miller comes away. Now Connell Helly gets through the neutral zone. He tries to go around Menton, but Menton stands tall as the puck goes into the corner. Still in the corner, Anthony Miller going after it there. He'll play it back in deep, and Jake Howie just plays it along the near boards all the way down, and this is going to be an icing. As Ziegler well, of course you don't have to touch up anymore, but he got there first. I just wanted to say Zach Ziegler again because I blew it the first time he was on the ice. I didn't want to miss it this time.
And the alliteration's nice. Let's not kid ourselves.
Especially double Z's. You don't get double Z's very often, especially in this business. I'm sure you're not getting many double Z's these days. Ryan Marker on the draw with Jake Howie. He wins it back to Ziegler. He'll wind and fire, but that shot's blocked. Through the neutral zone, Jake Howie comes away with possession now. He'll walk in from the slot. A shot saved by Taylor. Rebound goes wide by Santopolo. Howie will chip it back in deep. It eludes the glove of Santopolo, and Ziegler will play it along. Up the far boards, he'll be able to get it out. Quick pass from Toe to Ryan Marker in the center. Now he'll walk into the left circle. Quick shot and a save. Pashovitz up to the task there. But again, another quality scoring chance on that beautiful touch pass by Jack Toe.
Absolutely. And we'll see Marker and Toe come off. Toe taking a couple hard shots today. I don't know if they have his number on the River Dragons. Maybe they got a pool going over there. See who can chase him down the most. But
off the draw, McIntosh wins it to the far boards. Try to keeping it in with there was Taylor Cutting. He loses control, though, and now it's a race, and it looks like Santopolo is going to get there first. But then he loses the puck to Taylor Cutting, who plays it behind McIntosh now into the corner. Now Brendan Young is there as well, but Philbin comes away with it. He'll throw one at Taylor, and he easily knocks that one down and just covers it up. 13:10 to go, and it's been a lot of stopping and starting here in the second period after Jack Toe put the Thunder up 4-1. Don't forget, fans, the Delaware Thunder will be right back here at Thunderdome next weekend as the defending Commissioner Cup champions Carolina Thunderbirds will be in town for their first trip to Delaware. Tickets available, of course, at DelawareThunder.com.
And that'll be 2 weekends of hard-fought games for the Thunder in their first 2 weekends of play here in the Federal Hockey League.
Play goes into the Columbus zone. Alex McIntosh giving up a ton of size to John Evans, and Evans is able to whip it around behind the net, but pinching in from his D spot was Kieran Devine. Tried to find McIntosh in the slot. It was intercepted by Pastuca, but then his clearing attempt is deflected, and Brennan Young gets control. He's trying to elude Evans and kick the puck ahead. McIntosh gets it back to the point, and Taylor Cutting will just throw it back behind, where Eric Masters will be the first one to get it. He actually lets it go all the way back to the point, and they'll throw it back in behind the net, and John Evans will finally collect for Columbus and be able to clear the zone. He plays it ahead. Herron touches it in deep. Taylor Cutting will play it along there to Kieran Devine, his deep partner. Devine tries to play it through the center of the ice. Krupp threw one in front. It was deflected by Evans and goes wide. Dangerous turnover there by Kieran Devine. This time the puck's thrown into the slot and Vortinoff comes away with it. He'll skate into the corner and now throw it back to center. In deep, Tundle sends it into the Columbus zone. Racing after it there is Vortinoff, but played off the puck by Jake Howie. Ozelinch will play it around back to Howie for Columbus as they get through the zone, but the pass for Hayes just under his stick. He goes all the way down and will get another stoppage for icing.
Yeah, Vortinoff with the speed tonight. He came out of the gate moving there. I thought he was actually going to be able to catch up to that one.
I did too. It was just a little too far out of his reach. But as Coach Pence told us before we came up to the booth tonight, he said the boys are getting their legs, and they're showing it tonight. Moving with speed, playing with drive, and it is equated into offensive precision with 4 goals tonight. Ryan Marker's got a pair of them, and he'll win the draw back to Contrato. His shot through a screen. I don't think Pashkovitz ever saw that, but he's able to make the save.
Nearly slipped one by him and nearly put one in.
Cristofaro plays it through the neutral zone. Contrato back to Marker. Pashkovitz makes the shot. Save. Rebound. Saved as well. But on the third attempt, I believe it's Contrato who just threw that puck at the net. And it got over the shoulder of Pashkovitz. And now the Thunder are up 5-1 as this line continues to generate scoring chance after scoring chance. Brandon Contrato, number 90 in your program, out of West Bloomfield, Michigan. He assisted on both the Ryan Marker's goals last night, and I guess Marker returns the favor there as he'll get credited with a helper on Contrato's first of the season.
The fans definitely reacting to that one. I see a lot of hands in the air.
11:27 to play now, 5-1 Delaware. McIntosh and Howie, they'll come to a stalemate at center ice. Zach Pease will play it in for the River Dragons. He misses most of that big hit from Eric Masters, and now Howie gets an interception on a pass from DeCristofaro. They'll throw it through the slot. Nobody home, though, and Seth Gustin has to play it back to center.
And here comes Brennan Young again. He's got some serious speed tonight.
C.J. Hayes plays it ahead for Zach Pease. Pease through the circle finds Jake Howie. Howie back to the point. Gustin a shot, but nobody in front. Taylor saw that all the way and is able to corral it for another stoppage of play. You can certainly feel the physicality kind of going up a level. As you mentioned last night, for anybody that was watching, anytime there's a hit along the near boards, we definitely get the rock of that hit.
That's right. And we see Basie and Devine are going to be replacing Pens and DeCristofaro here.
Jay Krupp trying to give words of encouragement to his teammates on the Columbus bench as they win another face-off and they get another chance there. Philbin with a shot on Taylor. But again, he sees it clearly and makes an easy stop and will hold for another face-off. 10:51 to play here in period number 2. We're just about to the midway point of this game. Zach Follis, Alex McIntosh on the draw. Follis wins another face-off. Gustin plays it down to Philbin. Philbin finds Bush Anderson at the top of the circle. His shot goes well wide, but Santapalo will play it back in deep. Kieran Devine plays it along behind, and Alex McIntosh will corral there. Ahead to Brennan Young. He'll just backhand it out to center where Bush Anderson retreats to try to recover for Columbus. Masters puts the pressure on as he plays it across to Gustin. Gustin now a touch pass from Santapalo to Follis. He'll just throw it in deep. And he'll come off for a change as Graham takes over at the center position. Loose puck out in front, swept aside to Connell Helly. Connell Helly walks in. He'll fire one on goal, and Rutledge makes the save as the River Dragons made a change in net. They went back to Jared Rutledge after Pashkovitz gave up that 5th goal. And as you mentioned in the pregame when we went through the starting lineups, you were a little surprised that we didn't see Rutledge back out there tonight after he played so well last night.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I guess they're just trying to get their backup, some warmer legs.
Didn't quite work out for Columbus tonight as they trail 5-1. Graham gets into the zone. He'll play it in deep for Herron. Herron pinched off by DeCristofaro.
And they're going.
And now we get a whistle. Oh, we got a fight. It's right in front of us, and unfortunately I cannot see it. Now we get the action. That's John Evans and Connell Helly. And I think John Evans got the best of that one as Connell Helly goes down in a heap. right along the bench. They're still going at it. As he's got Connell Helly bent over the boards there by the bench. So our first fighting major in Delaware Thunder history will go to Gavin Connell Helly, as he and John Evans go toe-to-toe, and I had a feeling that was coming. Jake Krupp came to the bench after the 5th goal for the Thunder, very fired up, emotional, getting after the boys on the bench. And, you know, when you have a guy that doesn't mind dropping the gloves, sometimes you look to try to give your team an emotional lift. John Evans and Connell Helly going at it there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And you mentioned a couple minutes ago how we feel the rock when they hit into the bottom of the booth here on the boards, and definitely felt the start of that fight.
Right, and then it's funny too, as we mentioned, this is our second game together tonight. You know, learning how this whole system works, and because of the vantage point, I have to get into the habit of looking at our video feed when those plays are happening down in front like that. So now all the players, this must be the media timeout as we're midway through the second period. That gives us an opportunity to again remind you that the Carolina Thunderbirds, the defending FHL champions who hoisted the Commissioner's Cup last year, winning a 5-game series against the Elmira Enforcers, they'll be in town next weekend. Friday night, 7 o'clock, Saturday night, 7:05. Tickets available at DelawareThunder.com. But, of course, tonight it's also Game 4 of the World Series. Houston got back into it with a 4-1 win last night. They're already up 2-0 on Patrick Corbin, and they've got the bases loaded with 1 out, and it's still the top of the first. At halftime, the Sixers playing without Joel Embiid tonight. They trail the Detroit Pistons. It's 57-54. And the Flyers are back home tonight at the Wells Fargo Center. They trail Columbus 2-1 as they're midway through the second period there. Goals in that game coming for Jake Voracek, and Dubois and Jenner have found the net for Columbus. So that gets you caught up on what's happening away from the Center Ice Arena here in Harrington. We're about to come out of the media timeout again after our first fight in this inaugural season for the Delaware Thunder, and they lead 5-1. I would imagine that probably won't be the last time we'll see that tonight.
I highly doubt it. Still don't see any penalties up on the board yet, so we'll see if they get that set and ready to go.
That's a good point. I would imagine it's just going to simply be 5 for each. I didn't think I saw anything that predicated any further calls, and we've got 5-on-5. McIntosh off the draw with Heron. Graham with a spinning shot. That goes wide. Krupp plays it back in front, but Masters corrals and will clear the zone for the Thunder. Ozelinch will dump it in, but his teammates are still down deep, so they'll have to clear the zone. They do. DeCristofaro plays it along. Eric Masters now. He'll chip it ahead, and coming through center was McIntosh, but he loses control, and now it's DeCristofaro. Plays it back to McIntosh. McIntosh ahead for Brennan Young. Young holds, tries to fire one on net, but it's deflected, and it goes high into the netting behind Jared Rutledge, who's back in goal for the River Dragons. 9:26 to play now in the second period. The Thunder came in with a 3-1 lead. They add a pair of goals here in the second. Jack Toe and Brandon Contrado each find the net. McIntosh comes away with that puck after a stalemate to Cristofaro. He'll deke around Heron, throws it in front. Masters with a chance. Great pad save by Rutledge, and the River Dragons are able to clear. Charlie Penns will corral for Delaware. He's being harassed. Plays it off the wall nicely. Hayes tries to chip it back in. He can't do it. Now Penn's given the business to MJ Graham. Loose puck in the corner. Brennan Young will play it there. Throws it behind the net to Taylor Cutting. Cutting plays it back around for Masters. He'll throw it along the wall. It does get out of the zone as Bush Anderson just fires it in deep. Taylor gloves it down for Taylor Cutting to play with 8:40 to go. He'll throw it off the near wall, and it's going to bounce all the way down, and this will be an icing against the Thunder, so the River Dragons will get an offensive zone draw with 8:38 to go.
And we'll see if that scrum there spurs any more emotion here.
Well, if the intention was to try to get a little jump out of the legs of the River Dragons, it hasn't had that effect just yet. Howie on the draw with marker. Back to Bush Anderson. His shot sticked aside by Aaron Taylor, who, again, he saw it clearly. Two things I'm noticing about tonight's game as opposed to last night's game. much fewer in the turnover department for the Delaware Thunder tonight, and much less traffic in front of Taylor. Columbus was doing a pretty good job of setting screens and just at least making it difficult for Taylor to see those long shots from the point. Hasn't happened tonight. Off the draw, Marker and Howie battle there. Again back to Bush Anderson. His shot's deflected by Contrado. Goes all the way into the corner. But Cutting's clearing attempt is right off the skate of Ryan Marker. And now Jake Howie's got it behind the net. He'll throw it out in front, still loose. And Contrado plays it ahead to Ryan Marker, but they can't get out of the zone. Marker skates right into Taylor Cutting, and Howie comes away with the puck. Of course, I mentioned turnovers, and then they have a couple in their zone back-to-back. Still having trouble getting it out. Basie's pass eludes Jack Toe as he's checked there by Heron. Toe again trying to get a handle on it, and finally does. It's still come around Aaron Taylor and look for a spot to clear. He throws it all the way through the center of the ice. No icing as they wave it off, saying Gustin could have played that puck. He'll throw it around. Jack Toe, big hit by Fallis, but then a shot from Marker, easy save on the play by Rutledge. And now Columbus looking for the long outlet pass to Santapalo. Cutting gets back. He checks him off the puck, but Santapalo does get a shot away. And Taylor sends it aside, but now behind the net, Fallis gets control. He'll play it back to the point to Pastuka. His shot gloved down by Aaron Taylor, who snatches that high above his left ear.
There's that quick glove again from Aaron Taylor.
He has been stellar in the pipes tonight. If it weren't for kind of a weird bounce that left that puck right in the slot where I don't believe he ever saw it before C.J. Philbin put it in the back of the net in the first period, he's been perfect. 7:24 to play here in the second period. 5-1 Delaware. Anthony Miller, Zach Fallis on the draw. Face-off, kicked aside by Fallis. Santapalo back to the point for Menton. Pastuka tried to play it back in, and it went off a Thunder defenseman. And now the puck's still loose at center as they battle for it along the near boards. Miller comes away with it, and again will throw it to center, and it gets it into the Columbus zone. Pastuka will chase there. Trying to play it into center, and that puck deflects off Tundle and goes out of play. We'll have a face-off just outside of the Columbus blue line.
And just like they say in our safety announcement at the beginning of the night, watch out for flying pucks. That one up in the back row there to a jersey-wearing spectator.
Another lucky Thunder fan tonight going home with a souvenir. Again, a good crowd here on night number 2. The draw this time won by Graham as the River Dragons will backpedal. That's Menton who plays it along the near wall. And again, they'll battle for it through the neutral zone. They can't get it into the Delaware zone as it's thrown back out the center. Now a race as Graham couldn't beat DeCristofaro to the puck, but now Vortnoff loses it in his skates and plays it along for Miller. Miller turns, throws a blind pass back to the center blue line, and luckily finds Tundle moving into the offensive zone. He'll drop a pass for DeCristofaro, who just skates to the far boards, throws one in front. Vortnoff couldn't get control of it, and now Anthony Miller plays it in deep for the Thunder. Heron swings it around to the far boards. Krupp plays it ahead, but it eludes M.J. Graham. He eludes the hit by Tundle. And now the puck gets thrown back into the Columbus zone. Rutledge will play it behind his own cage. Just backhands
with a nice little duck around move there, skating between the River Dragons goalie and a player.
Interestingly enough, it leads to another scoring chance. His master's shot gets deflected to the corner. Now a shot from the point by Pens goes wide, but it's still loose along the far boards. Heron tries to play it along, and he does. They'll get it through the neutral zone. M.J. Graham, his quick shot off the shoulder of Aaron Taylor, but loose behind the net. Jay Krupp plays it there, and now again it comes loose as Brennan Young kicks it back to center. Bush Anderson recovering for Columbus. They look to take advantage as they make a line change. Zach Pease to Jake Cowie, back into the corner for Pease. He'll backhand it along. Behind the net, that's C.J. Hayes. He'll play it to the point to Bush Anderson. His shot well wide. Ziegler tried to glove it down. Instead, Brennan Young plays it off the far wall, back out to center where C.J. Hayes will recover. He'll carry it back into the neutral zone, and with speed gets through into the Thunder zone. His quick backhand shot goes off the glove of Taylor to the corner. 5:08 to play. Huge hit on the far wall. Ziegler makes his presence known as he sends Seth Gustin to the ice, and then a puck goes deflected into the netting over the left corner with 5:04 to play, and the Thunder leading 5-1.
Looks like Gustin might be leaking a little bit from his mouth there. That's chewing on his jersey to see how bad it is.
Well, Ziegler certainly lowered the boom on him there, much to the delight of the fans in our most raucous section of Thunderdome. 5:04 to play. On the draw, another win. Zach Peace gets it back to the point. They'll play it in deep to the corner. That's Hayes battling with Basie. Marker comes away with it, throws it out to center looking for Contrado, but Pastuca plays it back to the red line.
And that's one of those things Marker's been able to do really well, is just be able to put himself in the right spot at the right time. He sees those openings coming, and he swoops right in to make good use of them.
It's equated into 4 goals and an assist for him on the young season. And as we talked about last night with the low bridge here at the Center Ice Rink, or Center Ice Arena in Harrington, that puck goes into the roof. And that will bring us a stoppage of play with 4:36 to go.
I was talking to one of the janitorial staff here the other day. He was talking about how when they get up and clean in these rafters, they're pulling pucks down from all over the place. The speakers, the top of the lights, everywhere.
Interesting. Would have never thought that, but not that I would encourage this kind of behavior, but if you want a souvenir, maybe that's the route to go. 4:36 to go. Here in the second period, the faceoff is at center. Now a little jawing between Patrick Tundle and Zach Fallis, and now Fallis will line up right across from Tundle. Off the draw, Philbin loses it to Miller. Kieran Devine will play it into the Columbus zone. Goes all the way in behind the net. John Evans is able to recover it there. Plays it back to Pastuca. He'll backhand it along. And now it's Philbin. He plays it ahead for Fallis, who's trying to come through the neutral zone and again just dumps it in deep behind Aaron Taylor. Puck jumps over the paddle of Taylor, and Basie will play it along the wall, and he clears the zone. Santapalo recovers for Columbus.
See Vortnoff trying to use that stick to sweep that puck away, but couldn't make contact.
Good forecheck here by Tundle and Vortnoff with Anthony Miller as well, and trying to get control of the puck. Masters and Tundle skate into each other, and now Columbus comes away. Had a 3-on-2 brewing, but they couldn't connect on the pass, and Delaware clears the zone. Santapalo gets it back from Masters, but can't get it across the blue line, and he'll just dump it in deep as Columbus will go for a change with 3:35 to go in the second period. Alex Basie carries it in. He'll throw it on net. Rutledge sticks that aside easily. And in the corner, Brennan Young will battle with Ozolinch. Coming out of the fray is Heron. He'll play it back behind his net, but he finds Brennan Young. Young will skate around the circle, but he takes it all the way out of the offensive zone back into the neutral zone. And now a turnover there to Jake Krupp. Krupp walks in. He'll throw it to Graham, but he's played off the puck by Brennan Young. And then Graham and Krupp run into each other and go to the ice. And Delaware is able to clear as Taylor Cutting plays it out of the Thunder zone.
Yeah, I love to see players like Brennan Young step up and get right into the action. He's kind of a quiet guy off the ice, so when you see him get involved out there, you know that's where he does his communicating.
Great chance in front there for Krupp. Goes high and wide of the top corner. And Menton carries it into the neutral zone, so Columbus will have to reset. Turnover there. Contrado, he'll wind and fire, scores! Brandon Contrado! Right under the right arm of Rutledge, and it's a 6-1 game. Second goal of the night for Contrado.
That was a nice open slot. Nice way for him to shoot one in there in small gap and
taking advantage of the turnover, and I'm telling you, this line is going to be worth the price of admission every night. You can almost call them the Pennsylvania boys. You got Philly boy Ryan Marker and Brandon Contrado from Phoenixville, PA, putting on a show tonight, and the Thunder are up 6-1. Off the draw, Zach P. is going to try to get one back. He'll throw one on net from the corner, and Aaron Taylor will scoop that up and cover. Of course, Jack Toe's not from Pennsylvania, but he could be an honorary Pennsylvanian on loan here from the Chinese national team.
As a native Pennsylvanian, I will
You'll welcome him
I
with
will
open arms?
co-sign on that decision.
We'll see if he likes that designation as of the PA boys for this line. I'll have to hold it close to the vest for now. Off the draw, the Thunder clear it out. There is Jack Toe. He's in a race with Bush Anderson, trying to get to that loose puck. Bush Anderson loses his edge. But Jake Howie recovers for Columbus. He plays it ahead to Pease, who just couldn't get the puck out of his skates. But a nice drop pass down for C.J. Hayes. Side angle shot, saved by Taylor. Came out in the slot, and Gustin fanned on the rebound. But as they play it along the board, Jake Howie's able to keep it in for the River Dragons. He's looking for help. Plays it across Santapalo. He throws one in front, and it's chipped just wide by C.J. Hayes. Taylor Cutting will play there for Delaware and just get it out of the zone. Pastuca gives it away. Ryan Marker with a shot from the slot. And that one is gloved down by Rutledge. That's a big save with 1:47 to go.
It's like I just said, Ryan Marker making himself available in those open slots. He knows right where to be and when to be there.
My dad told me a long time ago that 90% of life is just being in the right place at the right time. That's kind of Ryan Marker's game. Right place, right time. But he does it purposely, not on accident. Patrick Tunnell is going to get sent off the ice here as a late change. Connell Helly back in as his 5-minute major penalty has expired. Interestingly enough, he was lined up right next to John Evans, who they had just fought with. Off the draw, Vortnoff. Connell Helly dumps it in deep. They were trying to get it to Ziegler at the point, but he smartly stayed back. And now he'll recover in his own end. Again, they'll play it along the near boards. Vortnoff's able to clear into center. John Evans will play it there. Looking for Santapalo, but the pass too far there. Connell Helly now. He's into the zone. Gives it to Miller. Miller in the left circle, trying to get around Evans. Instead, he'll turn and throws it back to an empty point. And Charlie Penns will recover. 1:18 to play here in period number 2. Penns gets it to Connell Helly. It's in his skates, so Anthony Miller will play it. He just spins around and throws it into the Columbus zone. Heron plays it across to Pashtuka. His long pass for Penns is deflected wide as he was trying to get MJ Graham there just across the blue line. Graham and Menton run into each other, and it's back to center where Ozelinch will play. Heron's going to dump it back in deep. It goes behind the net of Taylor. Aaron Taylor was sort of indecisive there as to whether he should play that one or not, and it comes back in front, and Heron cashes in. Again, another weird bounce where the puck just all of a sudden ends up in the slot, and this time Chad Heron is able to cash in, and the River Dragons, for the second straight period, have scored with less than a minute to play.
I imagine it's picking it up on the audio feed here, but the crowd greeting that goal with a hearty boo.
As they should. It's almost like these guys here, is that the north side corner you said?
Yes.
They're almost like the how-to cheer for the Delaware Thunder group, teaching the rest of the crowd here at Thunderdome. So after the goal, 6-2, 46 seconds left to play here in period number 2. The goal scorer, Heron, will take the draw with McIntosh. Alex wins it back to Kieran Devine, who plays it along the near boards. But the puck stopped there at the blue line. They continue to battle for it in the neutral zone. And now Graham walks across the blue line, throws it to the center for Evans. And now Menton overskates. He'll backhand it ahead. Masters plays it there. Nice pass ahead for Brennan Young. He'll try to get a shot off. Deeks through a defenseman, but Ozelinch did a nice job to stand him up there. Puck still came loose in front. Young shot sticked aside by Rutledge. Now it's Devine with a long shot. It's deflected in front. McIntosh with a shot sent to the corner off the body of John Evans. All those chances, I don't think any of them got through on Rutledge. And now the puck's pinned along the near boards. Masters is in there, as is McIntosh, Evans as well. And now they blow the whistle as the puck was lodged under Chad Heron's skate. 4.66 seconds to play.
Yeah, we saw some really good chances there. Everybody taking their shot off a rebound, and unfortunately, the Thunder couldn't capitalize.
Give Columbus credit for covering in front. Evans did a nice job using his body to deflect a couple of those shots. But this is good work. We didn't see a lot out of this line last night, and Masters, Young, and McIntosh have generated several scoring chances. Young, the only one to cash in of yet, but Masters and McIntosh, hard work on the cycle, led to the first goal of the night by Ryan Marker. So the clock goes to zeros. That brings us to the end of the second period. And here in the second period, the Thunder find the back of the net 3 times. Jack Toe and 2 goals for Brandon Contrato. And then with under a minute to play, Chad Heron lights the lamp for the River Dragons. And we go to the second intermission with Delaware leading 6-2. And welcome back to Thunderdome. I'm Gary Schofield alongside Josh Durr. Night number 2 of opening weekend for the Delaware Thunder in their inaugural season in the Federal Prospects Hockey League. Night number 2 has gone much better than night number 1 thus far, as the Thunder lead the Columbus River Dragons 6-2 after falling last night 5-2. And tonight we've gotten a lot more balanced scoring. A pair of goals from Ryan Marker, pair of goals from Brandon Contrato, and then goals each for Jack Toe and Brennan Young, their first markers of the season, has the Thunder out to this 4-goal advantage.
Yeah, that's really nice to see the Thunder up going into the third. A little bit of pressure's off. Of course, they're going to keep that lead right where it is, maybe expand on it. But coming into the third, I'm sure they're feeling pretty good. A nice, big, healthy-sized crowd here at the Center Ice Arena tonight for a Saturday night.
Yeah, crowd just announced 548 strong here at the Center Ice Arena. Thunderdome, as we affectionately refer to it. And I have a feeling that by next weekend, we're going to see more of those Viking horns in the stands here, if those gentlemen have anything to say about it.
That's absolutely right. And that's, plays a little bit to the Thunder, the Viking logo.
Absolutely.
Also, not too far down the road is Birmingham Meadery. And
right.
Maybe they have some sort of affiliation. I know the Viking culture is huge down that way.
Speaking of which, we do have a lot of fine sponsors to thank, as well as the Birmingham Meadery, Betsy Ross Pizza, Bay Health, Duck Creek Printing, Gatehouse Media, M&T Bank, Easy Loans Incorporated, The Barn, Harrington Insurance, Big Oyster Brewery, Coeur d'Leon Grill and Restaurant, 47 ABC, Delaware Prep Ice Hockey, Bridal Bit Liquors, Charlie's Painting, American Hockey Services, Forever Media, Applebee's Grill and Bar, Robert Webster Cosmetic and Family Dentistry, Delmarva Chiropractic and Wellness Center, First State Fabrication, Pizza King, Post-Acute Medical, Premier Orthopedic Bone and Joint Care, Holiday Inn Express, the Delaware State Lottery, and Planet Fitness. And I think there's at least a couple of players that might need a little help from Mr. Webster and his family dentistry after tonight.
Patrick Tundle definitely took advantage of that last week.
Right.
And then Connell Helly here tonight with that fight. I wasn't sure how he was going to be holding up after that because I mentioned it last night, but it bears repeating. He did take a puck to the face in practice the other morning, and he got 6 stitches in his upper lip. So to see him kind of squaring off and dropping the gloves, I was like, oh, man, he's probably going to be feeling it. But apparently his hand was bleeding more than his face, so that's at least good to hear.
Here's one of the differences between Gavin, Connell Helly, and me. There are a lot of them. Size, strength, good looks. If I had stitches anywhere on my body, I might not get out of bed, let alone decide to drop the gloves with the tallest guy on the opposing team, John Evans. So there's that.
Yeah, and it was funny. I mean, we mentioned earlier that Evans wasn't much of a fighter and that he was more finesse driven than physicality. But then again, we have a habit of saying things and making them come reality here tonight. So,
well, we're not going to test that theory here at the start of the third period. As the Thunder, they send their top line out. It's Marker, Toe, and Contrato. Ryan wins the draw. Back to Cristofaro. And then Ryan will just play it back into his zone. Charlie Penns will corral it there. But Saltapalo scoops it up before he loses his edge in the corner. And now Bush Anderson throws it in from the point. Playing along is to Cristofaro. Jack Toe gets it down to the zone, back to center. As they'll get it into the Columbus zone. Gustin being chased by Ryan Marker. They battle in the corner. Bush Anderson comes away with it, and he'll chip it along. Zach Pease now. He plays it forward, looking for Heron. Heron, a goal scorer for tonight for Columbus. Fires it in front. And it goes through the goal mouth. Nobody home. That shot from the point deflects off of Aaron Taylor and goes out of play. Face-off will come to the right of the Delaware goaltender. Thunder up 6-2. We're 40 seconds into the third period. Zach Fallis will take the draw with Alex McIntyre. Puck still loose. Kieran Devine plays it along. Eric Masters kicks it through to the neutral zone, and it's a race. Good play by John Evans to recover, to cut off the break there by Masters, but then a big hit behind the net. As Masters took care of Evans, Evans returns the favor to Brennan Young, and now C.J. Hayes comes through the neutral zone. Skates through 2 defenders, but couldn't get through Kieran Devine as he throws it to the sidewall. Zach Fallis tries to play it deep. Alex Basie intercepts and throws it back to center.
And one of the things that the Thunder have that really stand out is we've got some good veteran players out there on the ice. Earlier, Charlie Penn's looking really comfortable in a kind of a danger zone, but he kept his composure and was able to work the puck out and get it down forward down the ice.
Vortinoff over skates, still in the skates of Pease, and he'll just play it back through center. And carrying it into the zone is Tundle, but then he gives it away. Jake Howie with a shot, saved by Taylor, still loose in front. Vortinoff's able to scoop it away after Menton lost his skates. Now here's Tundle through the neutral zone into the offensive zone, and he'll just play it behind the net and try to beat Ozelinch to the puck. He does not. Philbin plays it, but in front, Tundle with another chance. Vortinoff with a shot. It's blocked by Gustin. Second chance by Vortinoff is high and wide and goes to the near board. Charlie Penn's pinches deep, and now Tundle will play it there. He's walled off by Howie. Now Gustin comes along and plays it behind. Ozelinch now along the far boards. Philbin goes cross ice, trying to get Howie, but a little too far for him, and they'll play back to center. Now back into the Thunder zone as Taylor Cutting takes control here. He'll pass it through center. It gets all the way on to Rutledge. He'll steer it aside, and now Pashtuka plays it behind. Bush Anderson holds there as Marker skates by. He throws it ahead. Now C.J. Graham back to Santapalo. Tried to get it back to Graham on a little give and go, and it was too far for him, but he'll throw it in front. Now that shot's blocked. Marker plays it ahead to Contrado. If they're quick, they can get a 2-on-1. Nice back check by Bush Anderson that kept that puck from getting to the stick of Marker. Now Jack Toe played off the puck by Heron. Heron gets it ahead to C.J. Graham. He's skating in across to Santapalo, who tried to play it in front to Heron, and it was deflected by Basie. And back behind the net, Alex recovers and clears the zone.
Yeah, Basie, another one of those veteran players who's been in the league for a couple years now, and really comfortable again in those tight situations.
It's interesting when you're building a new team, and I know Charlie Penn certainly took this into consideration when he was building this roster, is trying to find who are your leaders going to be, and there's got to be a comforting thing for him to know that he's got some of those leaders right out of the gate. Off the draw after an icing, shot well wide of the goal mouth. And now C.J. Hayes tries to drop pass, but it's intercepted by Ryan Marker. Jack Toe tries to skate through two defenders. He gets a quick shot on Rutledge, but he does a nice job to come out and challenge and just scoops that into his midsection and holds for a faceoff.
Jack Toe looking for that second goal of the night. Would have been great to see as he skates off. And we're going to get set down here in the left circle.
16:45 to play. Thunder with a 4-goal lead. McIntosh will go against Fallis on the faceoff into the skates of the linesman, and they still battle for it. Masters now with Ozelinch along the near boards. Big hit there by Fallis as he pins McIntosh to the boards as they continue to scrum. 2-on-2, trying to get that puck loose. Brendan Young finally does and sneaks it back behind the net. Going down is Gustin. Young falls on top of him. And now McIntosh will come away with the puck after Ozelinch lost his stick. The ref takes the brunt of that hit as McIntosh gets pinned down to the ice by Ozelinch. And now we get a whistle as McIntosh is down.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what happened, but Masters lost his stick as well and his helmet, and he took off down the ice to get back to the Thunder bench as McIntosh got checked down into the boards there.
I was a little surprised that maybe there wasn't a call on Ozelinch for taking McIntosh down to the ice. Alex seems to be okay, though, as both teams will go for a line change. Miller, Tondel, Connell Helly out for Delaware. Fallis wins the draw back to Bush Anderson. He plays it along for Pease, who just chips it through the neutral zone. But Taylor Cutting does a nice job playing it to Kieran Devine. Along the near wall looking for Tondel. Connell Helly couldn't grasp that. Now Pease gets a hold of it. He'll fire it cross ice through the stick of Fallis. And now Kieran Devine will send it all the way in on goal on Rutledge. And he'll steer it behind for Bush Anderson to play. Pease now through the neutral zone. He'll hand off to Jake Howie. Looking for a pass back to Pease, but deflected by Connell Helly, and he'll carry it back for the Thunder the other way, 2-on-2. Tundle now. His shot deflected into the corner. Connell Helly and Bush Anderson will fight for it there. And now a big hit. Elbows coming in from Pashtuka onto the back of Tundle. Now Connell Helly kicks it. Tundle comes away with it, but the defenseman for Columbus, Howie, is right there to clear the zone. Charlie Penn's will retreat and play it over to DeCristofaro with 15:15 to go. Daniel skates through one defender, gets across the red line, and just fires it all the way down. Rutledge will play it behind the net. Contrado takes that man off the puck. That's Gustin as they'll battle for it. Now in on the fray is Jack Toe. Puck still loose behind the net, finally thrown to the corner by John Evans, and Menton will carry ahead for the River Dragons there. He's through the neutral zone. Tried to skate through to Cristofaro, but lost the puck. Tried to chip it to Howie, but instead Jack Toe with the steal. His pass for Marker off the mark, but Contrado gains control. Tried to get it to Toe in front. Nice sprawling stop by Jake Howie to intercept that pass, but Delaware continues to maintain control. Into the corner now. Contrado trying to come away with it. Back to Toe. Toe plays it to Marker. Tough side angle shot saved by Rutledge. Back to the point, it's Kieran Devine. He'll play it back behind to Marker. Marker looking for a man in front. Nobody there. Plays it through the slot off the heel of the stick of Contrado, but Basie pitches in from his defensive spot and plays it around where Marker will just chip it deep again. Toe plays Howie off the puck, and now Philbin gains control for the River Dragons. He avoids the hip check there. Kieran Devine pitching in. He keeps it deep. But now Jake Howie gets control, and he'll just flip it back to center so the River Dragons can change, and Delaware will take an opportunity to... No, actually, Marker and Contrado and Toe will stay on the ice. Long shift here for the boys from... that I like to call the boys from PA. As Marker plays it behind, Heron now comes away with it. And I think now they'll go get that change if they can. Heron through the neutral zone. Plays it to Santopalo. He can't get through Taylor Cutting, but plays it back in deep. Pens walls off Graham. And now Toe will clear it out as he needs to get off the ice. Pistuka plays it at center to Santopalo, who takes a big hit from Taylor Cutting at the blue line. And the puck goes back to Ozelinch. Ozelinch plays it across to Pistuka. He'll fire it through the neutral zone, but all he finds is Taylor Cutting, who will skate into the red line and just dump it in deep. 13-15 to play. Masters battling with C.J. Hayes back behind the net. C.J. Hayes picking up speed. Goes around McIntosh. He's through center. He's past Cutting. Bad drop pass for Graham, but it was off the heel of his stick, and Aaron Taylor is able to just whisk that one away into the corner. As Young plays it back for Taylor Cutting, he's being pinched by C.J. Hayes. McIntosh along the wall is able to clear the zone. Masters, his cross-ice pass through the skates of Brendan Young, but now he'll skate into the Columbus zone. He'll stop. Now he's walled off by John Evans. Coming away with the puck is C.J. Hayes. He'll chip it ahead. It's Fallis. Fallis to Pease. Pease plays it deep. In front, it's loose in the skates of Basie. And now it goes to the sidewall after McIntosh tries to clear. Again off of Basie. It's in front. Pease with a shot, and it's blocked by Cristofaro. Back to the blue line. Fallis now. Puck continues to be in skates. Nobody can seem to get a handle on it. And Basie just fires it up the near boards. And Eric Masters comes to the bench holding his jaw. Fast and furious action here in the third period with the Thunder leading 6-2. Philbin will play it into the offensive zone, but Vortnoff takes him off the puck, but then he fans on his pass to Alex Basie. Now that pass goes through the legs of Basie to Cristofaro, though, will play it back to Vortnoff. Vortnoff at center to Miller. Miller with a touch pass on the wing to Tondel. He'll dump it deep and then get walled off by Menton. Into the corner. Miller beaten by Philbin as Philbin plays it behind. Tondel gets to it there. As he and Gustin go toe-to-toe, Miller throws his hip into Howie and plays the puck along, but Seth Gustin throws it into the center, nearly intercepted by Kieran Devine, and now Vortnoff will play it back to Taylor Cutting. Cutting throwing through the neutral zone into the skates of Ryan Marker, who carries it back in. Kieran Devine plays it out. Gustin now throwing it back deep into his own zone. Here comes Pistuka. Pistuka through center, finds C.J. Graham right in the middle, tries to drop pass to Heron. Instead it comes free to Philbin, but his shot ends up in the skates of Ryan Marker, who brings it out the other way. Across the red line, through the blue line, his shot deflected into the netting. Ozelinch did a nice job of keeping his puck, or his stick, on the ice to deflect that puck out of play.
Yeah, and Ryan Marker again being in that slot, being able to grab the puck and turn it around.
He's definitely the difference maker offensively for Delaware. 4 goals in 2 games, helping the Thunder get off to a much better start tonight than they did last night. And that early lead has kind of propelled them throughout this game as they lead 6-2 with 11 minutes to play in the third period. Columbus, though, not quitting. C.J. Graham to Santopalo. Tough angle shot goes off the shoulder of Taylor and back behind the net. I think Heron thought that it might have been in, but instead it deflected into the netting behind the glass for another stoppage of play. You know, it's funny, not only the fact you talk about Marker being in the right spot all the time, but Boy, do they log a lot of ice time, this line of Marker, Contrado, and Toe. It feels like they're out there every other shift. Off the draw, Santapalo, he'll throw it deep. Charlie Penge wheels it around, nearly intercepted by Heron, but Jack Toe comes away with it. As they play through center, Ryan Marker into the offensive zone. Quick shot off the blocker of Rutledge into the corner. Contrado plays it back deep there. Jack Toe comes up with the puck. He'll play it around. Gets to Contrado in the circle. His quick shot blocked by Ozelinch. And Heron will play it out of the zone to Santapalo. And at center, he'll just dump it deep, and Columbus will go for a line change. Taylor will settle it down behind the net, trying to play it to DeCristofaro. Daniel lost sight of it for a moment. The pressure there by Hayes. As they reverse the puck, Pease comes up with it as it eluded DeCristofaro. Now still behind the net. Pens gets beat there by Fallis as C.J. Hayes gets to the puck. He'll circle. Now he'll reverse course. Comes back to the circle. Cross-ice pass for Evans and a sprawling save by Taylor. Puck loose in front. The clearing attempt blocked by Bush Anderson. Second and third shot as they whack away at Taylor, and he's able to close the knees and keep the puck out. 9:57 to go in the third period. The Thunder lead 6-2, and it's a great flurry by Columbus, but that sequence right there is just a testament to how well Aaron Taylor's played tonight.
I feel like a broken record because we always end up back on Aaron Taylor and how he has really been the backbone of this defense and a huge component in the success of the team overall, stopping so many shots.
And with 9:57 to go, we're going to get our media timeout here. Again, we thank you so much for watching us here on YouTube and at DelawareThunder.com. And, of course, you can always go to FederalHockey.com as well, as you will see all of the action of Delaware Thunder hockey all season long if you go right to our website. But also subscribe to our YouTube channel. As you see, we did a little training camp video. We're planning on doing a lot more of that as the season rolls along. Also, if you're not following us on social media, you should be doing that. On Twitter, Instagram, what's the handle, Josh, on Twitter?
It's at Delaware Thunder.
There you go. Easy to remember, at Delaware Thunder. Like our Facebook page as well. Before we get back to the action, I'll give you a couple of quick updates. World Series game number 4, Astros out to a 4-0 lead, and they've got a man on in the top of the fourth with one out. Sixers, Pistons tied in the fourth, 93-93, 6 minutes to play there. The Wizards have tipped off in San Antonio. They trail the Spurs 38-34, and with 9:08 to play in the third period, the Flyers trail Columbus 4-3. Out of the timeout, it's interesting. I kind of expected Delaware to sort of play back a little bit with the 4-goal lead here in the third period. They haven't done that. They've continued to try to, pepper the offensive zone, and they've held up on the back end as well.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And with Rutledge back in net for Columbus, I think it's kind of stifled the offensive play from the Thunder a bit.
Couple of quick chances off the draw there, but that puck ends up in the Thunder bench or the penalty box. And that brings us another stoppage of play. You gotta love the crowd getting into it with the Let's Go Thunder chant. Face-off coming to the left of Aaron Taylor. Zach Fallis, who's been really good on the face-off dot this weekend. He'll go up against Alex McIntosh, who's had a good night in the circle. He wins the draw, but C.J. Hayes beats Brennan Young to the puck. And he'll just winging around behind the net, looking for a man in the slot. Tried to hit Zach Pease too far out in front. Now Brennan Young tries to clear it off the near wall, and he does. Back to center. They fight for it through the neutral zone. Puck still loose, and C.J. Hayes comes up with it there. He'll now just circle back behind his own net, slowing things down, trying to set up a breakout. Fires it through the neutral zone. Jake Howie picks it up there along the near boards. Nice drop pass to Bush Anderson. He gets bodied by Alex McIntosh, carries it all the way through the slot, but then finally loses control after being pestered by Eric Masters. Kieran Devine takes the worst of a hit from Bush Anderson in the corner. Now Brennan Young breaks out for the Thunder, trying to go around John Evans. Tough angle shot is wide and behind the net and comes all the way out of the Columbus zone. Anthony Miller to play it there, but he's stripped by Menton. Menton walks in front. His shot stopped. Still loose next to the goaltender, Aaron Taylor. Now Taylor cutting, drops the gloves, and he is given the business. I believe that's Philbin, who came in to take a shot on Taylor. Now Aaron Taylor is wrapped up with another River Dragon as DeCristofaro is in there with Menton as well. But Philbin went in late and was jabbing away at Taylor after he was down, and Taylor cutting came in and just started leveling blows into the head of Philbin.
Can't say I blame Taylor cutting at all for that one. Philbin was throwing some cheap shots on a goalie, which you do not do.
Yeah, the first whack at it, because it was still loose, but he basically tried to push Taylor into the net with his skates. That's not really allowed. The net came off its moorings. The whistle blew, and he's still kind of jabbing away out of it. I think cutting on it, honestly, is going to get the worst of the penalties here, because he's probably going to get more than just a major for the fighting. But
he's in the box, so he's not out of the game.
Okay. But you got to like him defending his goaltender the way that he did.
Little nod to Rocky here as we hear in the background.
Well,
Tom Schultz down in the PA booth.
We were promised throughout the summer old-time, blue-collar, hard-nosed hockey, and that's what we've gotten the last 2 nights. It didn't result in fisticuffs last night, but we've seen the gloves drop a couple of times tonight. The fans seem to dig it, and nobody seems to be worse for wear except Philbin now is going to the locker room. He was holding, it looked like his front tooth as he was coming off the ice, so he might need a little dental repair in the Columbus dressing room.
Yeah, and it's not often you see a goalie get involved in the scrums, and Aaron Taylor wasted no time getting to his feet and putting, I believe it was Philbin, in a headlock and moving him away from the situation.
You don't expect goalies to get into that action.
Yeah, but we're not that far from Philadelphia.
Right.
I know that Aaron Taylor may be from Ontario, but Ron Hextall's reputation precedes him in this particular area. So
yeah, he seems to have a little Hexy in him, not just with the attitude, but tonight with his play between the pipes.
And he's one of those goalies who's not afraid to leave the crease once in a while to try to make something happen. I've seen him, he'll skate out to the boards and try to shuffle the puck up the ice to whether it's a forward. Last night he got one right into the neutral zone to Ryan Marker, and Marker capitalized on that and scored. So
the referees are still discussing how they want to deal with the penalty situation here.
And the crowd's still very much into it over in that far corner.
Well, and you can hear how much fun they're having. If you want to get in on the fun as well, remember the Thunder will be right back here in Harrington next Friday night, Friday and Saturday. We're right back here playing the defending Federal Hockey League champion Carolina Thunderbirds. 7 o'clock on Friday night, 7:05 on Saturday. Your tickets can be purchased right now by going to DelawareThunder.com. You can take a chance that maybe there'll be tickets still available and walk up on either Friday or Saturday night. But based upon the crowds we've had here tonight, I have a feeling this is going to be a tough ticket to come by, especially if the Thunder continue to play like they played tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said before, these are going to be some of the toughest games that this team face all season long, taking the River Dragons with a very nice lineup on their end, and then coming into the reigning champs, Carolina Thunderbirds, next week. So get the hard ones out of the way, right?
Absolutely. And it'll be a great test to really see where the Thunder are next weekend. Columbus is also a new franchise in the FHL, so we weren't quite sure what to expect from them. But next weekend, like you said, great way to test how far along you are in your growth as a franchise and as a team by playing the defending champs.
Yeah, absolutely. The crowd not happy with the inequality on the penalty board. They're taking a 5-minute major.
Well, I'm not surprised. Philbin was prone on the ice. He never threw a punch or dropped his gloves. He got the 2 minutes for the skating into Aaron Taylor, and then, of course, Cutting gets the 5-minute major. So we'll play 4-on-4 for 2 minutes, and then Columbus will have a 3-minute power play. I don't think Coach Penz appreciates that call either.
Judging by the look on his face, I would tend to agree with you.
I would have to be objective here and say that's probably the right call, though. I think at worst, Philbin could have got a double minor for the way he went into Taylor. But instead, he just gets 2, and now we're ready to get back to action. Graham and Marker on the draw. Ryan wins it into the Delaware zone. And DeCristofaro gets it from Penz, and he'll play it behind his own net. Ahead for Contrado. He'll play it across to Penz. Penz back to Contrado. Back to Penz. Just playing a little keep away right now are the Thunder, because what's on their side is the clock. 4-goal lead, 8:28 to play. Ryan Marker says, no, I want to hat trick those. He carries it in and fires one off the backhand that goes wide. DeCristofaro from the point. He'll throw one in front. Rutledge blockers that aside to the corner, but Marker comes away with it there. Now he'll turn, plays it back to Contrado. Brandon Contrado along the near wall. He gets balled off by Pashtuka, and coming away with the puck is C.J. Hayes, probably the fastest skater for Columbus. He comes through the zone with speed, and his shot's deflected to the net by Charlie Penns and out of play. 8:01 to go here in the third period with the Thunder leading 6-2. Big night for the Marker, Contrado, Jack Toe line. They've each found the net. Contrado and Marker have each scored twice. Marker set up Toe for his first goal of the season, and Brennan Young has found the net as well. Off the face-off, thrown in front by McIntosh for a chance for Pease. Taylor was able to shoulder that aside, but it goes behind the net, and they'll play it back to Evans. Evans tries to dump it deep, but it's intercepted by McIntosh, who plays it back to center. Bush Anderson carries it out of the Columbus zone, but then the puck gets lost at his skates. McIntosh is able to corral it, and he'll play it back to Kieran Devine. Basie now across for McIntosh. McIntosh across the blue line. He'll stick handle there, gives it to Brennan Young for a quick shot, which is saved by Rutledge, and Basie will just throw it back down deep with under 7.5 to play. 37 seconds left on the Philbin minor, and then it'll be a 3-minute power play for the River Dragons, where they'll be able to score as much as they like. They fight for the puck just outside of the Columbus zone. Marker steals it away from Zach Pease. Now he goes around the net. Thought he might try that wraparound again, but he throws it in front trying to find Contrado. But the puck got in Brandon's skates, and he was never able to get a shot off. John Evans brings it back the other way. Gets through Basie. Quick shot on Taylor. And Aaron makes the save as he goes into the butterfly and just covers up with 6:56 to play.
Yeah, we'll have to see. With all that penalty kill practice yesterday, we'll have to see how the Thunder manage the next 3 minutes of play.
Well, they've done well tonight. They've only faced the man advantage twice. They've killed both penalties against them. Marker and Santapalo again on the draw, and Ryan Marker wins it cleanly again. He'll skate across the blue line and just chip one across to Brandon Contrado. His long shot easily gloved by Rutledge.
Man, just keeping the pressure on, taking those shots, even if they aren't expecting them to land. Just trying to push forward and stay on top of the puck.
You know, I wonder if head coach Jerome Beechard is rethinking his decision to start Pashowitz tonight instead of Rutledge, because Rutledge has come in and played pretty well, just like he did last night. Off the draw, Columbus wins it. It's played around. Pease gets to it first. He kind of lost his footing a bit along the near boards, and he'll play it back for C.J. Hayes. Hayes now comes out from behind his own net. Power play is underway. 5-on-4 for the next 3 minutes. Contrado, though, gets to the loose puck in the neutral zone, and he plays it into the Columbus zone, where the River Dragons will have to retreat. Nearly 30 seconds have already elapsed from their power play. Contrado pressuring Hayes, forcing him to clear it out of the zone, and he does all the way down, trying to find Pease. He's played off by DeCristofaro nicely, but Fallis comes up to the loose puck. He tried to find Pashtuka pitching in from the point. That puck was intercepted to the near wall, but Fallis regains control, and now DeCristofaro sends it around the boards and out of the zone. Back to center. Graham will carry it in for Columbus.
That last puck came off the skate of the official, who wasn't even looking where the puck was at.
Couple of good chances at the sidewall for Fallis. He still has the puck as Aaron Taylor was able to keep it out, but Fallis regains control. Gustin's shot is deflected out of the zone as Ryan Marker sends it all the way back into the Columbus zone. And I think we've got a whistle because the nets come off the moorings. 5:32 to go here in the third period. 1:44 remains on the cutting major.
And we're going to see Penns and Basie back on defense, it looks like here.
The question is going to be is where is the face-off?
Oh, I was wrong. Penns is coming off.
Alex Basie's unhappy with something that was going on behind the play. It looks like they're going to have the face-off. The draw will come just outside of the Columbus blue line. Again, it's MJ Graham. He's going to go with Alex McIntosh. You got McIntosh and Masters, the M&M boys, killing the penalty here tonight. Off the draw, McIntosh wins another. Along the near boards, Masters tries to get it, but he can't. And all the way into Columbus. Graham with a shot, and it goes wide. Nice feed there from Heron. Puck still loose in the corner. Heron battles with Basie. MJ Graham comes away with it. He'll walk right out in front, tries the wraparound. Taylor keeps the legs down in the butterfly, trying to get to the loose puck, and it's still loose. It comes all the way back to the point to C.J. Hayes. Bushy Anderson plays it into the corner. MJ Graham holds there. Fires it through the slot. Was hoping for Hayes. Hayes didn't have a stick on the ice, though, and instead McIntosh comes back the other way for Delaware. He'll put on the brakes and decide to just skate it back into his own zone. What a smart play by Alex McIntosh to help burn some more valuable power play time as we're under a minute left in the Taylor cutting penalty. And now Charlie Penz will blast this one the length of the ice into the glove of Rutledge, who drops it for Pastuca to play. Fallis now carrying through the neutral zone. Got through the check of Ortonoff. He drops it to Pease. Tried to get through Brennan Young. Quick shot from Pease. Another save from Taylor. The rebound couldn't get cashed in by Fallis. Penz loses his stick. Shot wide, deflected by Philbin, goes behind the net. Now still loose in the corner as Zach Pease corrals. Still on the power play are the River Dragons. Pastuca at the point. His shot shouldered down by Aaron Taylor, but it's loose in the slot. Brennan Young comes away with it. He's through the neutral zone. One-on-one with C.J. Hayes. Back checking to play Pastuca. His shot is score! Brennan Young makes it a 7-2 game with a shorthanded goal that Rutledge thought he had at his shoulder, and it just trickled through to put the Thunder up by 5.
I think the Thunder are going to breathe deep after that one. There is little hope for the Columbus River Dragons to come back from this deficit.
That's an excellent play. Not only Aaron Taylor making multiple saves there under heavy power play pressure, and now they're getting Aaron Taylor out of the game to give his legs a rest for the rest of the night. We'll get our first look at Morgan Hudson between the pipes for Delaware. Hudson, he's a rookie out of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, stands 5'10", 185 pounds. And on the face-off, marker with Santa Paulo. Columbus dumps it in deep. Kieran Devine gets there first, but then loses it to Heron. Heron throws it in front. Santa Paulo couldn't get his stick on that, and Hudson just kicks it aside. Marker now will play it into the Columbus zone. We've got 3:45 left in the third period. Contrado playing along the marker. He fans on the pass. And Ozelinch tries to play it along, but he overskates as well. Now Contrado steals it away from Heron. He'll throw it behind the net. Marker's going to battle with John Evans there. Tries to play it back to the point, and he gets it to Basie, but his pass is blocked, although it pops right back to him. Another shot, this time deflected by Evans, and now they're able to clear out of the zone, but this one's going to go all the way down and should be an icing, and it is with 3:16 to play. Again, your Delaware Thunder leading Columbus tonight 7-2.
Yeah, and the Thunder really taking advantage of all the opportunities that they've been given. I mean, they've seen some weaknesses, and that's one of the things. You go into the second game of a weekend like this where you play the same team back-to-back. That second night, you're going to be able to, find your spots, and you're going to feel each other out a little bit. They're getting familiar, and looks like that sort of diagnostic approach has helped the Thunder here tonight.
Eric Masters corrals the puck in the corner, plays it back to Basie, who kicks it deep to McIntosh. Brennan Young now in the corner, throws it in front to Masters, but he's taken off the play by Ozelinch, and a penalty coming up on Columbus as Ozelinch is going to go to the box for hooking as he kept Masters off the puck, and with 2:57 to go, the Thunder go back to the power play. And now Basie and Evans having some words in the Columbus zone. Now remember, Evans has already dropped the gloves once tonight with Gavin Connell-Helly. And now Basie being basically escorted back to the neutral zone. So 2-minute hooking penalty goes against Ozelinch, the Latvian-born defenseman for Columbus. And Marker will be out this time. Of course, they have Contrado on the point on the power play along with Penz, but it's Connell-Helly and McIntosh as the wings. Draw was won by Marker. Nice play by Menton to take that loose puck and carry it through the neutral zone. McIntosh corrals the puck there, and it goes wide of Hudson as Ryan Marker. He'll retrieve, carry it around his own net, and looks to break out with speed. He's through the neutral zone, into the Columbus zone. Quick shot deflected wide. McIntosh will battle Bush Anderson there. Nice keep by Penns, but now the puck comes loose out of his skates, and now a breakaway for Philbin. One-on-one with Hudson. Hudson makes the blocker save into the corner, but now the puck's still loose in the Delaware zone. Finally, they get it out. Contrado now. He'll carry it in. He'll just fire it into the far corner where McIntosh will corral. He'll play it back to the point, and Marker sends it deep. Contrado behind the net, out in front. Connell-Helly scores! Gavin Connell-Helly on a delicious feed from Brandon Contrado. And the route continues. Thunder 8, the River Dragons 2.
Wow. That was a good 30 seconds of hockey right there. From Morgan Hudson's first block for the Thunder to Connell-Helly's first goal.
It's a great way to turn the tide. Morgan Hudson, you know, it's got to be tough, too, when you've been sitting on the bench all night. All of a sudden, your first real test is a breakaway on a shorthanded chance for Jimmy Philbin, who's already scored tonight. He makes a brilliant save, and as Delaware's done all night, they've been able to play really well in transition. They got a bit of a break, cycled the puck well, and Brandon Contrado, just a beautiful pass. And Connell-Helly, right place at the right time on the power play, was able to cash in. 2:09 to play. MJ Graham will take the draw for Columbus. Anthony Miller for Delaware. Miller wins the draw back to Basie. Alec Basie will play it along the near boards, and that goes out of play. So we'll get another face-off with 2:02 to go. So I'm pretty sure that's a 4-point night for Contrado now. 2 goals, 2 assists.
Yep.
As you mentioned, Gavin, we've had a lot of firsts tonight. Connell-Helly, Jack Toe, Contrado, Brennan Young all scored their first goals in a Delaware Thunder uniform. Miller off the draw. They're going to play it into the Delaware zone. Zach Ziegler chases it down there. Back behind, plays Santapalo off the puck, and now Ziegler tried to clear it past Graham, but couldn't do it. Back into the corner, thrown around there by Santapalo. Now out to Tundle. Tundle with speed, trying to get around Pashtuka. Pashtuka takes the worst of that hit, but he does get Tundle off the puck. Now loose at center, where Basie will play there. He does a little spin move, takes it through the neutral zone, fires it across the Columbus blue line. Tundle tried to get a little retribution for the earlier hit, and he definitely got the worst of that.
Basie's ready to go. Drops the gloves there
Oh,
with
man.
Evans.
Basie is giving it. He wanted John Evans from the start. So we've got John Evans and Basie going. Tundle's hurt.
Yeah, Tundle is.
And then luckily, he's able to clear the area. Now this fight's along the boards between Basie and Evans. Tundle just fell to his knees. As he took that, he's got a cut right across the bridge of his nose, does Tundle. Now Basie and Evans both have their helmets off. This has really been more of a bear-hugging match up to this point.
And the referees will come in to separate that bear-hugging contest. Basie gave him a couple quick ones right off the drop. But I'm more concerned here about Patrick Tundle. I don't know if he took a blade to the forehead, but he looked like he had a very deep cut across the top of his forehead there.
Well, Pashtuka stood him up on the far boards. The puck cleared the zone, went back into the Columbus end. Tundle was following the puck and was trying to put the hit back on Pashtuka. I think he just got Pashtuka's shoulder right across the nose and the eye there. I think that's what caused that cut, because Pashtuka stands pretty tall. And, of course, the skates add a little extra, but Yuri Pashtuka, 6'2", 200 pounds. For Tundle, 6'2", 176, so a little bit of a discrepancy there. But, of course, as we've talked about all night, the promise of old-time, blue-collar, hard-nosed hockey has certainly played true tonight. We've seen a couple of fights, certainly a lot of hard hitting tonight, which I think is that's the most entertaining part. I know folks get all jazzed up for a good fight, but it's the physical play that leads to good scoring opportunities, and we've seen it from start to finish tonight for Delaware.
Yeah, and that tension's been building since the first puck dropped last night.
Right.
And we knew it was going to kind of pop off and explode. Weren't sure when. Connell-Helly and one of the River Dragons earlier got it going.
Two fights tonight for Evans now, which although I really don't think he wanted to fight Basie there. Not to say that he couldn't, or they had words a few minutes earlier, and it just seemed like he wasn't in the mood for it. And Basie took his chance when he saw it, because he obviously wanted to get at Evans.
That's right. Both teams regrouping now.
Man, what a turn of events at the Wells Fargo Center. The Flyers trailed Columbus 4-3 with about 9 minutes to go. They tally 4 times in the final 7.5 minutes and beat the Blue Jackets 7-4.
Well, both Columbuses
struggling tonight.
In the NHL, it's Columbus, Ohio. Here in the FPHL, it is Columbus, Georgia, West Georgia down there, and the River Dragons. A lot of similarities between these two teams. You've got 2 expansion teams. Both owners have a son on the team.
So I guess I'm trying to figure out now, up on the board, they've got Pastuca with a 5-minute major. Unless they're going to call a major, or they're going to call a penalty on the hit to Tundle. That's a bad call. Patrick initiated that contact. Pastuca was just standing up. So I'm really surprised at that. It's really kind of irrelevant at this point with 1:29 to go. But that is the call. Pastuca's going to go to the locker room. So he'll get an early shower tonight, much to the delight of everybody's favorite cheering section there in the north corner. As the cowbell has become the thing here at Thunderdome. So fans, bring your cowbells when you come out next weekend when the Carolina Thunderbirds are in town.
Absolutely. Get reset for play here. You wonder if the team's going to take that momentum that just kind of built up there and see if they can mush another one into the net.
Columbus late trying to figure out who they wanted to get on the ice. C.J. Hayes comes out, and off the draw, McIntosh plays it back to Contrado at the point. Contrado to Eric Masters. Masters sends it back down deep. His cycle game has been really good tonight, and he'll continue to try to get the power play set up here, playing one-on-one with McIntosh. Now he'll just kind of walk it in. Now he'll go behind the net. He'll play it to the near boards. That's Ryan Marker. Marker back to the point. Pens plays it across to Contrado, but it was on his backhand, and he had to spin it back behind the net. There's Masters. Masters back to Marker. Marker from the circle. Throws one in front. Deflected by Ozelinch to the far wall. Contrado recovers there. Plays it to Masters. Tried to get it back to Contrado. Jumps over his stick. Now it's a race between Pease and Pens. Pens wins the race and backhands it back to Contrado. And now Masters into the offensive zone. 40 seconds to play. At the blue line, Contrado keeps it in there. He'll walk it into the circle. The play from McIntosh back to Pens. That's De Cristofaro who come off the bench to replace Pens. Quick shot went off the right pad of Rutledge and into the netting, and we get a stop with 31 seconds left. Delaware still on the man advantage after the major penalty to Pastuca. And, of course, at this point, just hoping that Patrick Tundle is okay. Anthony Miller is going to take the draw here for Delaware, who are short a man. Marker will come back out. He'll play the right point. Now Vortinoff takes the draw. Ozelinch plays it out of the corner. De Cristofaro's got it there. His shot knocked down by Jake Howie. And as he turns, De Cristofaro kicks it back out the center. Ryan Marker will play it there after the backhand pass from Daniel. And now he'll come out of his own zone, through the neutral zone. Now he'll just circle back with just 12 seconds left, just trying to get the remaining seconds off the clock. As for the first time in their history, the Delaware Thunder will be winners. And Gavin Connell-Helly raises his hands to that as a huge bear hug around Morgan Hudson. As the Thunder win, Charlie Pens raises both of his hands high in the air. Delaware 8, the Columbus River Dragons 2. The Thunder will face the Carolina Thunderbirds right back here at Thunderdome next Friday night. Multiple goals tonight for Brennan Young, Brandon Contrado, and Ryan Marker. Add goals for Jack Toe as well, and Gavin Connell-Helly. And the Thunder win it 8-2, and they are sharing that celebration with the 500-plus in attendance tonight here at Thunderdome.
And that is a beautiful thing to see. The team definitely roused by that win as they all take to the ice to go out and thank everyone who came out to see them claim their first victory.
Here was the question that people were asking themselves ever since Charlie Penn's made the announcement that professional hockey was coming here to Harrington. And that was, will hockey work in Southern Delaware? I think we've got our answer.
Yeah, we certainly have. And I have to admit, I was skeptical when I heard. I was skeptical when I came down to kind of look at what was getting set up down here, because I come down from up north. I'm close to Philadelphia. You know, we got the Flyers up there. There's a lot of, like I said last night, if you were listening to the broadcast, there's a huge youth hockey culture down here, and people around here really appreciate it. And they made a very good call coming to this arena in this town.
It's been a fantastic opening weekend, and it's interesting too. I was talking to Columbus head coach Jerome Beachard before the game. I met him out on the concourse, and he was telling me he has owned a junior hockey team in the state of Oklahoma for 18 years. He said, and there are still people in that community that have no idea that they exist. So my suggestion to you is, if you are a fan of what we're doing here in Harrington, tell a friend, tell a coworker, let them know that if they're hockey fans, they can feed that itch right here in their own backyard, and they can start doing it next weekend when the defending Commissioner's Cup champion Carolina Thunderbirds will be here to face the Delaware Thunder Friday night at 7 o'clock. Head to DelawareThunder.com for tickets. You have any final thoughts on the weekend?
I just think everybody check out the Instagram, Delaware Thunder, at Delaware Thunder across all your social media. And as we look forward to next weekend, I think the Thunder are going to have a good week of practices ahead of them with this momentum.
Certainly going to feel good leaving the ice with a victory tonight. I imagine I can't say the same for the long bus ride back to Columbus for the River Dragons tonight, but they get a split from the weekend, so they at least go home with 2 points. So on behalf of all of our crew here, there are a ton of behind-the-scenes folks that if I start trying to list who they are, I know I'm going to leave somebody out. So I'm just going to thank them as a whole. And on behalf of my broadcast partner, Josh Durr, my name is Gary Schofield. Final score, once again, from Thunderdome, the Delaware Thunder 8, Columbus River Dragons 2. We'll see you next Friday night.